We're live.
Fuck it. Let's do it live. Fuck it.
What'd you say?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
There we go. Okay.
Hey, you hear me now?
Intro.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the weekly podcast sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the podcast. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the podcast and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the podcast concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. LIW Anthology Series Review is now in effect.
Hello, Dick. Hi.
So, if in your dystopia, are we going to have zombie meat pie as well?
You might. So enjoy your murdering for the next hour because you got an hour to do it. So
I'm MMT Buck Tig Fuck.
I'm dumb fuck Southern Sheriff.
Southern.
Yeah, he should have been the pastor or the priest or whatever.
Yeah, it was more or less. Yeah.
He was that voice. I don't know what he was the sheriff, but he was like a politician. I don't know. Well, anyway, welcome to LIW Anthology Series Review, episode 67 for Creepshow 105B. Times is tough in Musky Holler. That title sucks.
Well, I guess, yeah.
It's just, Times is tough. I don't know.
It's like remember that cat is groovy revenge or whatever that awful title was for Tales from the Crypt.
The cat. Oh, dig that cat. He's real gone.
Yeah, that's it. That's horrible.
Yeah, that was a cool idea, but the execution, just like this, it's one idea. The execution left a lot to be desired.
Well, yeah, but I think is it because they were low budget? They had no choice.
But holy shit, was it low budget?
It's low budget. It's like a student film, really.
It was a student film tries to do something a little better than this. And I'm not putting this episode down. I did like.
No, it was fine. Yeah,
it's this was way better than Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone. The Tales from the
Crypt. You're right.
This was way better and 6 minutes shorter, which doesn't sound like a lot, but holy shit, it is apparently.
Oh yeah, it makes a difference.
15 minutes. The reason I chose this episode for this week is because we're doing our first verses in a while. Ever have we done a live? Have you done a verses yet? Like 2 movies?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So that's why I chose this, because it's 15 minutes and Jansen bailed on us. And so he can't commit murder for the next hour. So, yeah, that's what happened.
He's going to be murdered.
Ooh.
Because he's got a really, really bad security program in his house.
Fix his fucking computer.
Ethan Hawke didn't do a very good job putting it into his house.
Oh my God! In season 2 of the Purge show, they brought in Ethan Hawke for a scene. I was like, "Whoa, they did it!"
Wow, he'll do anything. He's a whore.
Hey, that's a big movie for him.
It is. He probably. Hey, you laugh. He probably made about a good $10 million off of that.
I guarantee he did like I'll take less money now and more on the back end. And that movie did a lot of money. The first one,
it did really good. So he made some money on that. Yeah,
yeah.
And maybe even Sinister, because honestly. That's why these guys take those parts. They get a nice paycheck out of it.
Nice stipend there afterward.
Yeah, why not? I mean, shit, why not do it?
If you're ever watching a movie and you see it's just a regular actor and their name is a producer, they did not produce the movie.
Yeah, no.
They had nothing to do with the production or the behind the scenes. They threw their name on there as a part of the back end. That's it. They had nothing to do with it. Anyway, Creepshow. Where do we begin? Let's talk about our star-studded cast consisting of David Arquette.
That's all you have to say. You said star.
Star-studded up there.
He's not even really a star or in the episode, honestly.
Yeah, he has like 5 lines. And they're all They're all grown from the back of his throat.
You full of shit, I'll kill you, you bitch.
He's like if Deputy Dewey went to the dark side.
Yeah.
That's his character.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know. Okay, let's just begin at the beginning. Fuck it. First of all, let me just say you predicted exactly what it would be. I don't know, 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in.
If that, yeah.
Yeah. But basically, all these people are in a jail cell. It's like the sheriffs, the cops, and the town gossip who pisses herself. David Arquette is a cop. He's a cop.
Pisses himself later.
The preacher's there, and they got the local news reporter. For some reason, they got fucking Ron Burgundy in there.
Well, he spread the lies for the mayor, I guess, because
from a devil's tongue.
It's a really good local news show they got going on over there.
I guess. Holy shit!
I mean, damn.
I didn't realize how appropriate this background would be, considering it showing the comic there on the bottom. This episode, it's basically a motion comic, half of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I understand why. It doesn't bother me that much.
No, it was cool. If it was 40 minutes and 30 minutes was motion comic, it would bother me. But yeah, it's 15 and 6 or 7 minutes are motion comic.
Yeah,
and it was fine.
Yeah, it doesn't bother you too much. I understand why they did it. It's a budgetary thing, and
yeah.
I mean, like I said, this is like a student film, and actually, it would have been a really good student film. Honestly, like it's not bad. But it's a no budget episode. It's one of the most interesting bottle episodes I've ever seen of a show. Really,
yeah. It consists of, I don't even want to say 2 sets. I want to say 1 set and another part of a set CG'd into a football field.
Yeah, don't try to question the logic of geography in this and physics in this one, because it's gonna boggle your mind.
So what happens is Lester M. Barclay is yelling, and Tracy Bonner comes out. She's
Tracy Boner, please.
Character named Lottie. I don't know their character names. Who fucking cares? But
Tracy Boner, please.
She comes out and she's like, "Oh, you know what you did, all of you, town." And she goes one by one what you guys did, and they show little comic book flashbacks.
Yeah.
But then they bring them out in chairs. And I thought it was going to be like a torture thing, like Saw or something, because when I made the poster, that's what I saw. I didn't go any further. I just literally, I turn the sound off and I scroll until I see enough faces to put our faces on them in the poster.
Yeah.
That's all I do. And all I knew was that they're in chairs eventually. And what happens is they get in chairs, and then chains bring them up to the ceiling, and they're going to get revenge on them up there. That's all you know.
That's true. This is very true.
And Dick immediately goes, "There's zombies up there." And I'm thinking it was going to be like someone takes. I thought they're going to go all the way up, and someone just like the town just beats the shit out of them or something. But
that would have been too easy.
Once you said zombies, I'm like, oh yeah, this is zombies.
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be. What else could it be at this point?
Yeah, what else is? I mean, that's the thing. Is what else could it be? There is nothing else. If it was something else, I'd give it more credit, maybe, but it's not.
Well, I do have an idea. And I'll pitch it in a second as soon as we finish the actual plot. Because really the end is that their heads, it's like here up. They come up in little holes and their heads are up on football field.
Yeah.
And then they eventually, very, very drawn out, they release zombies and they slowly eat them.
But remember, they are torsos of zombies because they cut off their legs and arms, which is kind of cool. That was a neat little visual, like, this is how we keep the zombies in check, so they don't attack anybody else. Yeah, and it's pretty. Like, did that ever happen in Walking Dead? Because I never watched that show long enough to see anything like that. That's pretty clever. I'll give them that. That was a good little thing they did.
The only clever thing they did in Walking Dead is when Negan had his little sanctuary. He to the fence. He would post them outside. So if you wanted to attack the sanctuary, you had to go through like a wave of zombies.
Okay.
But they're like tied to the fence outside.
That
was about it. I mean, the governor had his stuff. When you would fight him, like you would go there and fight it like a gladiatory. That's kind of what I thought it was going to be, because you hear the cheering, and I know it was a
right.
I thought it was going to be like a gladiatorium arena, but no,
they didn't even pull that off.
But anyway,
Well, I mean, which is fine. I mean, I understand.
The town getting revenge on these people, and then they get eaten. The end.
Yeah.
And this is where another twist would have been nice is, and I kind of mentioned it during the commentary, which is you think these are the bad people, and these people ruin this town, and then they come up, and then you see their heads there, and you know they're gonna have zombies come out, and then you realize, oh, these are the people trying to save them from the zombies. And this town is just full of fucking idiots, and they don't appreciate that or deal with that. But no, we really get no backstory on other than the fact that these people took over, and that's it. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, but what, like I said, like what do you? It's fine. I understand. But because so far Creepshow's been pretty solid. I didn't really care for the Justin Long episode. That was all right. I didn't like it. I didn't love it. It was fine. I didn't hate it. It was meh at best. I don't know.
Kind of how I felt. I like the Justin Long better than this.
Mm.
It had more going on, but the problem with that episode, it was just a little too long.
Right.
And kind of lackluster in the ending, but I really did like the House of the Head.
Yeah, House of the Head one was a good one. I think that's probably my favorite so far.
Yeah.
That one's pretty solid.
Our next Creepshow episode is, if everything goes according to plan with schedule, on September 26th, we're doing The Right Snuff, which is a space episode, obviously.
Oh, my God.
And it stars everyone's favorite actor. What's his fucking name? Breckin Meyer.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which goes hand in hand because I just watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, I forget how many, of Big Sky.
Ooh.
And has Ryan Phillippe, and he was in 54 with Breckin Meyer. But anyway, I don't want to give any spoilers for that. So if you have not watched Big Sky and you're planning to, fast forward about 30 seconds, I'd say.
Yes.
Dick, are you going to watch that show at all?
No.
Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. I said, I was like, this is like Twin Peaks, but not as quirky. Or it's a more quirky version of, of The Sinner. If you ever watch that show.
Oh, is that the one on Cinemax or?
No, it's on
is Sinner, is that a Kirkman show?
No, it's on USA Network.
Okay.
Bill Pullman. Good show.
Oh, Bill Pullman's got a show. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, that's all you had to say.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Bill Pullman.
I'm watching the first episode. The reason I'm watching it is not because of Ryan Phillippe, but I do love Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah.
But it has, like we talked about 1,000 times in our live streams, one of my favorite actors in it, John Carroll Lynch. He plays the sheriff. And I'm like, fuck yeah, John Carroll Lynch show. I'll watch that. And it's Ryan Phillippe versus John Carroll Lynch at one point.
Oh, my God.
And it's like the end of the first episode. And John Carroll Lynch is like, all right, yeah, let's go out. He plays a sheriff, and Ryan Phillippe's trying to get information. He's like, yeah, let's go out there. And they're setting up all this backstory about Ryan Phillippe, like his wife, and he slept with a girl, and then they argue about it, and it's very soap-opera-y. But then he's like, yeah, let me take you out there, and hold on, and he goes, BOOM! And blows Ryan Phillippe's head off. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nice.
I was like, holy shit.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't matter anymore. And he shows up a little bit in some flashbacks in episode 2, then he's done.
Nice.
And I was like, you got some balls, show. Okay.
So this is like the first episode, or?
This is the end of the first episode. The last thing you see is him blowing his brains out, and he comes out and he's covered in blood. John Clemens on the phone. Like, holy shit.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
They caught me so off guard because I'm like, you get Ryan Phillippe, he's going to be the lead. You expect that and that's where they get you.
I thought Ryan Phillippe was going to be my hero.
Everyone in that show is like sleeping with him, and I'm like, I don't blame him.
Even John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah, I think he would have if he wasn't trying to investigate him.
If he didn't blow him away early on in the show.
He could blow him.
I'd love to have sex. I will have sex with you, but I'm not the Zodiac, and if I wasn't telling you.
Well, I'm watching his face, Ryan Phillippe, and they do close-ups, and I'm like, he's only aged right here. Like, right here. And that's it. Other than that, he looks like he's 20. And I'm like, how the fuck?
That's where he smokes the cigarettes. Is right there under his eyes.
What immortality fountain has he found? Because he has not aged.
He goes to the Keanu Reeves School of Youth.
Even Keanu Reeves has the courtesy to pretend he's not immortal, and he puts some gray hairs in his beard.
Yes.
I have more gray hairs than Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
does in my beard. Like, it's not fair. And he's 20 something years older than me.
I think he's like, he's 1,000 years older than you because he's immortal.
I'm going off Keanu's calendar.
Keanu's
According
calendar.
to Keanu's calendar, he's
Shit.
20 something years older than me.
God damn.
Let's look up Keanu Reeves.
He's 53 or 55, something like that.
He was born in 60. He's literally 20 years older than me. 64.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Same year Nic Cage was. And one of those guys looks immaculate, and one of them looks like Nic Cage. So
Nic Cage looks like what he did in Leaving Las Vegas now. He's starting to get that coke bloat going, and it ain't looking good for him.
But then he'll show up on something, and you're like, wow, he looks really good. Like,
They got a good makeup designer on the show.
they got that, they smear that CG on him and
Oh, yeah.
throw him to the camera.
Just like what they do to Selma Hayek.
Who else was I going to look up? Ryan Phillippe. I think Ryan Phillippe is like 7 years older than me.
Ryan Phillippe is 72 years old.
I forgot he's in Crash.
Yeah, that's one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, he's 10 years older than me. So he's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Does that make you mad that he's 10 years older than you and
Ryan
more
Phillippe would look
successful?
better than me at age 90 than I did at age 20. It's a fact. And I'm fine with that. I can accept that.
He won the genetics lottery.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do?
Good for him, I guess.
And I like him because he didn't want to be a movie star. So he's like, I'll do my own thing.
Well, he's in MacGruber, for God's sakes.
God, he's amazing in MacGruber, too. Hey, Adam, you're not here to talk about MacGruber and how much you hated it. That movie's awesome.
Yeah, fuck you, Adam.
If I had to make a top 25 comedy movies, that might be toward the end.
Oh, shit.
Like 24. I don't know. I say that, but I made a long ass on the John Carpenter review show that we do or did. I made a long ass honorable mentions and wasn't on there. So maybe top 50. But
Yeah, that's fine.
he's also the reason we're doing Creepshow, Adam. And he fucking bailed on us.
I know, right?
Come on, dude.
Shit.
Let's change backgrounds. There we go. What's this one? I don't know what's going on here. I got an evil kid reading a comic book. I got clearly a Dawn of the Dead poster right above you.
Well, did you hear they're going to do
I think it's Steven Dorff.
they're doing an Evil Dead comic book that's coming out this week. It's a Evil Dead 1979. That's what it's called.
Why is it called that?
I don't know.
Prequel for 2 years?
Well, I think it's supposed to be after the first one, but not before the second one. I don't know. Because the second one ties into Army of Darkness, like, immediately.
But the year doesn't make any sense. First Evil Dead's 81.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's... Oh, you know what? Okay. Maybe it's 2 years before.
Yeah.
That's just
Maybe it's about that scientist that made that tape.
Maybe, but Bruce Campbell's all over the covers, because I saw the covers. They're all about Bruce Campbell.
Of course. You cannot make an Evil Dead property.
No.
Other than a remake. You couldn't make
Yeah.
anything that you want to tie to the original ones without having Bruce Campbell.
This is true.
He's just there. Like, it's him.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And Mel Gibson once said that about Mad Max, and turns out he's horribly fucking wrong.
You think so?
Oh, Beyond or what's it fucking?
Oh, you're talking about
The new Mad Max movie is way fucking better than any of his.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
I don't know though. I like I like Road Warriors still. I think Road Warriors is a good movie.
I like all three of the original ones, but the
Yeah.
new one just like made those so obsolete.
Oh, yeah, that's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Fury Road.
Very
When
right.
I saw that in theaters, that was like the greatest event I've ever. I was just like, "Holy shit! This is insane. What is this?"
Fury Road is the reason I bought a bigger TV. I
Yeah,
could watch that on my TV, and I got that, and I got Gravity, and I'm like, those are spectacle movies.
yeah.
Gravity is not nearly as good, but it is a spectacle movie.
It is. It
yeah.
is.
I wish they didn't pretend to have a story in that movie, like Sandra Bullock's backstory. Like, no, thank you. I don't need her dead kid. No.
I think Sandra Bullock's backstory is she has a black son who wants to play football, but he's adopted, and she's trying to help him out by she going to space.
She lands back on Earth, pulls out of the pod, crawls up on the sand, calls him. He's like, I think you should do something else, not football.
Okay, Mama. I mean, white lady that saved my life because white saviors save blacks all the time.
Speaking of people in Crash,
Whitewash.
we're gonna talk about everyone that's in the movie Crash.
Yeah, shit.
Brendan Fraser plays her husband.
That's true. He's all
racist towards Miguel Pena.
Was he really? I can't remember.
She's gonna sell his marquees to his cholo friends or whatever she said.
I don't remember that.
Like, holy shit! Miguel Pena's there fixing the locks on the door.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the first. That's the first Michael Pena movie, really.
Oh, really?
I think so. That was his big break. That movie. I feel like that was one of them.
Yeah, it probably is. Everyone turned on that movie all of a sudden. Like,
it sucks.
It didn't deserve Best Picture. I agree, but it's not a bad movie. I don't think.
It's not a good movie.
It's schmaltzy.
Yeah, it's bad.
And the schmaltiness, unfortunately, comes in Michael Pena's daughter.
Yeah.
He stops the bullet and they don't get shot. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, especially the way it's shot too. And he goes, ah!
Yeah,
like,
that's where the movie really falls apart for me. But I like the Ryan Phillippe stuff, and I like the Sandra Bullock stuff where she crosses the road.
Yeah,
the black guy.
I hate the one part of that movie that I really hate though is when she's crying. She goes, "You're my only friend," to the maid. It's like, if that's your only friend, you're really sad.
And then Dylan, his scene where he goes and saves Thandie Newton underneath the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I get it. Because he borderline fucking rapes her when he pulls him and her.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think you can
Terrence Howard over
for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no going back. Like, that's that guy's life now. He heals people up and.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that are just like okay, that win Best Picture.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've seen Crash a couple times. I've never seen. We'll get back to Creepshow here in a minute, briefly, and then get out of here. But I've never seen the fucking Indian
in the cupboard movie.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire one?
Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
It's fine.
I've never seen Moonlight.
I haven't seen that one either, yeah.
I've never seen Green Book.
I haven't seen that one either yet.
I've never seen Shape of Water.
That one sucks. I hated Shape of Water.
Yeah.
I really did. I did not like that one at all. Shit.
Yeah, I just don't care about these movies. And I'm like, oh, they won Best Picture. Okay. And then I've never seen Parasite either. That one
I haven't seen Parasite. I want to see Parasite, but the more I heard about Parasite, the more I was like, oh, it's that movie. Okay, whatever. I don't care.
Could be good. I don't know. I'll never know.
I'm sure it's fine.
I want to watch it. Like I always talk about those movies I just don't watch for no reason. That's one of them.
Yeah.
I have no problem watching a foreign movie. But what won last year?
A Parasite.
No, last year. Parasite won 2 years ago. It was.
I was Parasite.
No. Best Picture winners. The last year was Nomadland.
Oh, that's right. It was the Frances McDormand homeless movie.
That one?
Yeah, that one Best
I
Picture.
had no idea.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. Yeah, that's what won.
But okay, so last year was Nomadland. The year before that was Parasite. Green Book, Shape of Water, Moonlight, Spotlight. I watched. There we go. There's the first one. So 2015 is the last time I watched a Best Picture winner.
Wow.
Before that, Birdman I watched. 12 Years a Slave I watched. Fargo, Artist.
Yeah.
King's Speech I didn't watch.
I hated Artist. King's Speech is fine.
Oh,
it's like an HBO movie though, so I'm like, why did this win Best Picture? It's not. It's nothing to it.
I can see you hating The Artist. It felt like a Remco movie to me.
Oh, absolutely.
But I watched it. And I saw it in the theater, and I was like, that was good. And then it won Best Picture, and I'm like, Wait, what? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
What the
That's
fuck?
like, huh?
As long as Tree of Life didn't win, because I can't stand Terrence Malick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh shit! Don't tell me I'm gonna be one card away from a complete set here.
but look at the one the one that you won the year before Crash was $1 Million Baby, which I agree with, and then the year after it was The Departed, which I agree with, and then No Country for Old Men. I'm like, what a great, and then Crash in the middle of that. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, well, that's why and everyone's kind of like ignores Crash. They're just like, eh.
Well, look what it was compared like up for. It was against Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night, Good Luck, and Munich. Two of those
Yeah.
movies I like. Well, two I haven't seen, so
Capote's good.
I haven't seen it. No.
Capote's good.
I like Good Night, Good Luck, and I really like Munich, but
Munich's
not
great.
best- it's
I
not
love
best
Munich.
picture. Like, yeah, definitely, but it's way too depressing and not in an uplifting Academy way, you know.
Right.
So that didn't stand a chance. Anyway, Creepshow 6. I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
I wish they would have had more money because this could have been a more interesting idea. But I also think they covered their ass in an interesting way that didn't leave me going, ugh,
Right. Yeah.
like with the comic book.
Yes.
A little too much of that guy yelling for my taste, but
Well, yeah, and again, it was like they had to have someone fill the pages of the script.
this episode,
It's a bomb!
Speaking of that, weren't you amazed
Oh, yeah.
who shows
Oh, yeah.
up in the middle of leaving Las Vegas, and it could actually be the same character?
oh, there's a couple characters I want to bring up in Leaving Las Vegas, but we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that.
If you're on the live stream, we're going right into B-Movie Battle Nic Cage cast, Honeymoon in Vegas versus Leaving Las Vegas. If you're on the podcast, it's an entirely different podcast. Go check out either on the podcast feed, it'll be Nic Cage cast.
And this is why Jansen's not with us, because he was incredibly depressed.
Oh, we'll talk about that on that show. Yeah. Okay. Let's get out of here. Would you recommend this episode? Yeah,
I would.
50 minutes.
It was fine. Yeah.
I'll give it a 6, but it was not a waste of my time.
No.
I honestly wish there was more David Arquette.
Well, that's of course.
And I don't know if I've ever said that before in my life.
I don't think you have.
And speaking of Arquettes, one of the Arquettes married the star of our next show, Nic
That's
Cage.
right.
We'll
That's
be
right.
talking about him in a minute. So until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Ticket.
Here's our government mandated outro.
Oh God.
So long, citizens.
Citizens of Wonderland, rejoice in the fact that we have covered another episode on the podcast. Go to liwstudios.com for more videos and podcasts. Subscribe to Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Search on Amazon for books by Richard Pierce. Until next time, and in the meantime, we are Phoenix West, Dick Dickett and Jansen Carlin. So long, citizens. All hail our glorious leader. Shut off the fucking podcast now.
Oh, there's no Jansen Carlin. He bailed. All right, Dick, we're on break.
Oh my God. I am down. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. 62,
What'd you say?
69. I need 2 cards to complete a fucking set.
And you're done?
Well, yeah. And I went
Like
through
you're out
all-
of cards on your end?
I'm out of cards, right? Well, I got another box somewhere, but all I need is 2 more.
I love the fact
cards.
that you just have a box somewhere of
What I bought
Batman
them.
Returns cards.
I bought them in eBay for like $20. I got 2 boxes. So they're like, I'll buy that because they're going to sell them by the pack. And I sold a few of them here and there, but I was like, I could probably make more money just making them a set, maybe. And then I'll sell the individual cards that are cool. Other than that, shit.
This has been my project for the last few days. He came completely red. You know how like pottery comes in that red, like a flower pot?
Yeah.
He came like that, and I painted him.
Oh wow! Look at that. How nice. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Well done.
He's and it's hard to see on here, but he came out a little minty. He's very minty colored.
It's not an official LFL product.
If I compare the two, I don't know. Oh, this fucking camera. But like here, his regular skin color, and then a little minty.
Yeah, I got that. I got that beat. Hold on. Now I'm gonna get him.
What'd you do?
My life-size Yoda, baby Yoda that I got in my house.
Oh, the one that you spend like $200 some on?
Only 3.
300?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's life size. It's life size.
Isn't this life size?
Well, no. Technically not. Excuse me. Technically, no.
47 centimeters tall, and from his toes to it. Yeah.
If I paid that much for mine, it's goddamn life size.
If I do this, he reminds me of a peg from the game.
Yeah.
Watch. Doesn't he look like one of those things you stick in the car?
Look at that. That's great.
He's got no nads.
That's funny.
Okay. Let's make sure this saved, and then I guess we'll just roll right in. Unless you want to take a pee break.
I think I'm all right.
Nic Cage. We'll be talking about him in a minute. I just figured out why it was playing so low, because I turned down that program when we were doing Creepshow. Remember the credits? I turned it way down. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Computer's fine. Now I feel like a fucking asshole.
You should.
Do.
You rat bastard, you
fucking Jew.
Fucking Jew bastard. You go over my head again, I will fucking kill you, motherfucker, you.
You made me pop your eyeball out of your head for, what's his name?
Charlie M.
Charlie M. Or Charlie fucking M?
Charlie fucking M. Charlie M.
Frank and I will get into hour-long discussions about the movie Casino. We did one episode what was that?
Batman Returns.
Okay. We did one episode of Twilight Zone that was really boring. So the whole time we were just going, do you remember in this episode where the guy was like walking and they showed him walking for like a minute and a half? Hey, do you remember that scene in Casino where Joe Pesci lands the plane? It was just back and forth, and we did it for an hour.
Oh, that's funny.
And we never really reviewed the episode. That was fun, but
and that's why you have assholes who leave reviews on your podcast channel. It's like, these guys don't even talk about the episode. They suck. Worst podcast ever.
That hasn't happened in a while. Honestly, the last week I've gotten more comments and stuff than ever.
Really?
Yeah, it's been weird. It's been a weird week.
I guess we're starting to take off then.
YouTube is picking up like crazy.
Really?
We got like 50 subscribers in the last week, which is weird. Wow. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We took a week off and suddenly blowing up. But then, and I never really care about YouTube numbers, but if it's higher, obviously I'd like that. I just don't care. I'm not going to cultivate the programming to make it higher like some channels. You know what I mean? Like
Pete?
We're going to do what we're going to do. But then even on the website, people leave comments on the videos this week, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, people never do that. Why would...
Yeah, I was going to say that. I don't remember that ever.
Weird. Happening. It hasn't happened since we launched.
Huh.
Like, it's been a strange week. And then people comment, like, liking the video. Like, I like your style on there. I'm like, oh, I'm not used to these positive YouTube.
Maybe we'll get a show with sponsors.
Right? But it's like a couple comments are just like, I really like your guys' style. And I was like, what?
Okay.
You're damn positive?
You're an idiot.
I'd rather watch something like this where we just do whatever than like fucking Star Wars. Oh my god! If I hear another show about Star Wars, I'm gonna punch him in the face. We bring up Star Wars, that's fine, but
that's the problem. Yeah, it's just I don't even like. I don't watch it like that on the internet. Now I'm just watching fucking comic book speculation videos.
Yeah.
because I'm buying comic specs. See, look
Here's
what I
where I'm
bought.
at with this. I'm like, Baby Yoda, Mandalorian's okay. It's good.
This is. I bought these today.
Do you think there's Nic Cage comic books?
Oh, there are.
Why
Oh,
don't I have any?
we'll find one. They have Keanu Reeves wrote his own comic. He's got it's like 5 issues deep right now called
No.
Berserker.
Not ones that he wrote.
No, but what's
But
that?
like ones about Nic Cage or Nic Cage movies. Like I bet there's
I don't know.
like I want Ghost Rider where it's literally Nic Cage's face.
I think there might be.
Oh man, I need one.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me look. Let me get my phone here. Hold on.
I'll wait on B movie battle. I'm gonna go to the bathroom actually.
Oh, you go. I'm going to the bathroom too. Yeah, I'll go.
Hickory dickory dock. Hi, I'm changing stuff on here. I have you muted. What?
I was doing property management stuff. Yeah, call Norquest, fix the air conditioner, but they're closed because it's the holiday.
It's on holiday yet, motherfuckers.
But we'll try again tomorrow.
AC out or just
they're having problems with AC in the front house.
I will never understand your living situation.
Well, I'm going to get that house eventually. If I want it now, I could get it. But I'm just like, my friends live there, so I'm just like, I don't want to be the guy that says, like, you get the fuck out so I can get a brand new house, bitch. Get out of this place that you pay $1,000 or $1,100 rent for.
Oh, that's not much.
No, it's not.
I pay double that.
Well, no, yeah, we should charge way more. We don't. We're actually really nice renters, but we got to raise them because we pay for water and garbage, and the water in California is fucking expensive. It's fucking awful. There's fucking state, bunch of bullshit. Oh, you got no power.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. And if you had to deal with that.
No, she's I think it's done now.
All right. Should I change my name or leave it as Times is Tough? Because it's just a standalone show. So let me change it real quick. Edit name. Do this. All right. You want to change yours or you're good?
I think I'm good.
Vegas
Creep
Dick.
He is a creep dick. He is creepy in the movie.
I hit the trifecta. I've done 3 shows now with hitting record, and all 3 times it just recorded like a normal thing. It didn't go, where's your fucking audio? It changed, but it didn't.
Wow, it's like this thing called a computer actually does what it's supposed to do.
It computed that nothing changed, so it doesn't need to freak out. That's amazing.
We can go to the moon now.
Let's do it. But first, our government mandated intro.
Oh, that.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the B-movie battle sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the show. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the show and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the review concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. B-movie battle is now in effect.
Hello, citizens. Welcome to B-Movie Battle, episode 58, Nic Cage Cast 36. For our first live version of Versus. It's Honeymoon in Vegas versus Leaving Las Vegas. 92 versus 95.
Wow.
We're versing them. I'm Phoenix West.
Dickette.
Fuck Jansen Carlin, and welcome to the show, Dick.
Well, Jansen did say that this movie depressed him beyond repair, so I think he had to take a few weeks off just to get his brain out of the gutter that dirty movie Leaving Las Vegas made him go through.
I'm going to message him right now and just ask which one wins for him, and I'll reveal it at the end.
Okay, so I got good news and I got bad news for you on the Nic Cage comic book front. Nic Cage and his son wrote a comic called Voodoo Child, but Nic Cage does not have his own illustrated comic book.
If you're just confused as fuck, there's a good reason. It's because in the last episode, the last show on the live stream, but that's a different podcast entirely, LAW Anthology Series Review, Creepshow, Times is Tough, and Musky Holler, I asked for a Nic Cage comic book. I want Ghost Rider with Nic Cage's face on there, and turns out no. But him and, what's his son's name? Weston Cage. They apparently have written a comic book.
Apparently. From like a long time ago, too, because I think it's in 2007.
Oh, Jansen.
And it's like $6. It's not going for anything.
Oh, Jansen. Okay.
Did he message you?
Okay, on the Versus episodes, I don't really have a plan. This is my first time doing it with 2 people. I've done previously Joe versus Mandy. And I did Crudes versus Crudes 2.
See, that's tricky because that's like 2 good movies versus 2 good movies.
Well, I had never seen either one at that point. And so much as I love Mandy, it fucking lost.
To Joe?
To Joe, which is...
Well, Joe's a good... Well, I haven't watched Joe, but I know it's supposed to be real good.
David Gordon Green movie.
Yeah, which that doesn't mean anything. He's good 40% of the time, 50... I think he's 60-40.
But that movie kept getting compared to Mud with Matthew McConaughey.
It is. It's very muddy.
And I watched both of them, and I'm like, Mud is...
I like Mud.
Joe was fucking solid, though.
Yeah,
I like really didn't. And Cage even said himself, the character I play in Joe is way more close to what I am as in reality than any other character I've ever done.
In reality, I'm Joe.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
then
go to.
you hear an interview with him, and he's like, "Well, Nietzsche said that." You're like, "Fuck you!" Like he pretends. I don't
To be
know.
smart.
He is a smart guy. He is.
He is not a smart guy.
No, he
He's
is
a dummy. He's
in
an
a weird way.
actor. Don't get me wrong, I like Nic Cage. I think he's a goofy motherfucker. I don't think he's a smart guy. I don't think he's got a brain in his skull.
Well, it depends on where you say smart. Like smart, like could he be a scientist? No. Could
God,
he?
no.
I'm saying he's smart as far as he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's putting out there in the world, and he knows where to market that. He's a
Sure.
fucking genius there.
Oh,
But
yeah, but did you think that just kind of happened to come to pass because he's just been around since the dawn of time because he's an immortal?
he's not immortal. He's clearly withering away before our very eyes.
He's one of the Eternals. He should be in that Marvel movie.
Oh, you know who is in that Marvel movie, Internals? For some fucking reason, Kumail Nanjiani. I don't know why.
Oh, the guy for the Indian guy.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen his body?
Yeah, he's shredded.
He got fucking
He is,
shredded.
girl, he is shredded.
He looks good for a fucking. He looks good for a cream color boy.
Kumail Nanjiani is in my top 5 comedians, like stand-up comedians.
Really? You think he's that funny?
Yeah, he's good. Oh, I saw him live.
5.
Top 5, like current, like
well, current. Okay, like
living.
current. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll give you that.
No, if you
He's
go
funny.
all time and you consider all the dead people, no.
Sure,
If I see tickets on sale, I'm going to fucking see him. I like him. I think he's funny. But anyway, how do we want to do this? Do you want to go off like, actors and then go off this versus this? Well, and let's do it like that, right?
I like to see these two movies as direct sequels.
And that's okay. Well, do you think we should end with that or begin with that?
I don't know. Well, okay, so you got to start opening with Honeymoon in Vegas as the first movie to talk about, which is Nic Cage in his fucking Matthew McConaughey phase, where he does like romantic comedies for 7 years straight.
Can I do something in this movie I've never done before on the show?
What are you gonna do? Oh my god, you didn't like it, huh?
No, there's a reason I did that, and there's a reason the disc is shattered now.
Oh, that's right, because the disc was skipping.
The disc.
That's what you got.
All, if you bought this DVD of Leaving Las Vegas, it is fucking broken. The movie itself on the disc does not play right. This is fucking trash. I fucking it would be like normal audio, cut to the next scene.
Oh wow, man.
And I'm like, I can't fucking hear it. And it's not my speakers. Because I watched this just fine. And I watched other DVDs just fine, but it's something's fucked with they didn't code it correctly or whatever you call that.
Oh yeah.
It's fucked, and then the visuals, it would just go super out of focus on everything.
Well, that was Mike Figgis.
And no, I mean I've watched it a different version and it looked fine.
Oh, okay.
But that version on the DVD is fucking broken. The reason I broke it is because I'm buying it on Blu-ray now. Because fuck that thing, I hate it. I was so pissed.
Do you think that it's kind of odd that? Because I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't watch Honeymoon in Vegas because I've seen it before, like years ago. So I didn't feel the need to watch it.
Okay.
So I did watch Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, I broke the shit out of this thing.
I had not seen Leaving Las Vegas, and I'm glad I finally watched it because it is a good movie.
Yeah,
it's very good. It's very sad, and it's sad on both fronts because just Elizabeth Shue just talks about getting cum in her face all the time. Like literally, that's like half her dialogue is I got cum in my face.
Well, that's where we can really break down and talk about the specifics because there's a lot more to talk about with Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
My main concerns are do not buy the DVD. It's on Blu-ray finally. I bought this because it was the only copy that existed. Now they have it on Blu-ray.
There you go.
My copy is no more broken now, piece of falling off, than it was prior to me snapping it in half.
You should blow it up for the show.
I couldn't finish it.
You should rig it with explosives and blow it up in your backyard.
It's not scratched. Nothing's wrong with it.
You should blow it up and do a gender reveal party for your child, though we already know what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We should have done that.
You know what's funny is my baby was conceived in Vegas, so this is
it makes a
it
lot
really
of sense
was.
now.
So
I'm going to Vegas to kill myself.
Okay, let's start with just like tone.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because part of the reason I wanted to put these two movies together is A, both have Vegas in the titles. B, completely different tone. They could not be more different.
No.
This is like a fun,
Yeah. Jimmy Kahn and Sarah Jessica Parker doesn't equal I'm going to kill myself with booze and then come in my face.
No, all the pictures on the back are like whimsical
Happy,
and like
whimsy,
fun.
yeah.
And this one has no pictures on the back. There's a picture of like it's not a scene, it's the play scene selection.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's it.
And Honeymoon in Vegas shows you the happy family side of Vegas, where Leaving Las Vegas shows you the real Las Vegas, where it's whores and drug addicts and Russian mafia with prostitutions and
frat boy rapists.
Frat boy rape.
All kinds of wonderful the end of the movie that was, but holy shit.
Oh, God.
Okay, so tone. One's whimsical. It's a wild romp through Vegas, and they go to Hawaii. And
Elvis impersonators
galore. Korean, Chinese. There's
midgets.
A black one.
There's a midget.
This is just a sad documentary of an alcoholic and a whore.
Well, and it's written by a man
who killed himself.
Killed himself before the movie came out. Like literally 3 days before the movie came out. Like how... and they almost were like, should we even make the movie now? Oh, no, 3 weeks before they shot it. That's what I think. He killed himself before they shot it.
It was a pre-production. And he goes, I have to do it in his honor. But then you watch and you know what the movie's about, and you go, I'm not that surprised. Like Hunter S. Thompson wasn't surprised when he found out he shot himself. Like, yeah.
Well, he shot himself because NFL wasn't on. He loved football. So it was off season. He was off season. He was bored. He blew his brains out.
He couldn't watch the Broncos game. And just...
Nope. I'm not watching their fucking Broncos.
Okay. And speaking of Vegas,
it
also ties in
Fear and Loathing.
So they made a new one. Did you know that? Fear and Loathing in Aspen. It's called.
No, don't know.
And let me pull up some screenshots for you.
You gotta be kidding me.
Is this
a National Lampoon version or something?
Oh, it looks like it. It has a 5.4 on IMDb.
Well, there you go.
So we got a third Hunter S. Thompson movie after Where the Buffalo Roam, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and then we got Fear and Loathing in Aspen. Jay Bulger, Cheryl Hines.
Yeah, I saw Bobby Kennedy.
A film by Bobby Kennedy III.
Robert Kennedy did this movie.
The prequel to Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh my God! Is that Parker Lewis? Can't Lose?
No, it's Jay Bulger.
Are you sure?
Let's watch the trailer, shall we?
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Shout! Oh no!
When did this come? What? 2021? Oh my God!
John Stockton Thompson.
The thing that astounded me when I first saw Aspen was that it had so much room here. It was an individual utopia. By the end of the 60s, Aspen had become a corporate utopia. As the new money poured in, they didn't want...
Fast forwarding.
We're going to stop the ski pimps in their tracks. Saddle up, freaks! Run them up!
The sheriff's office could be used to help slow development, stop pollution. My aim is to encourage citizen participation in government. The only power we have is the vote.
They're trying to bring voters into Aspen.
They would still vote for me.
Okay, I cannot watch anymore.
Ugh, it looks like that cheap fake old movie look like on our computer when you're editing.
It looks like the opening of Happy Gilmore, where it's showing like Happy as a baby.
Yeah.
Who's Jay Bulger? Oh my God, this is tying in so many crazy ways. Look at the third listed actor on this movie. You'll never fucking guess who it is.
David Arquette.
No, ain't tying in with Cage.
No.
Weston Cage Copeland. I did not know that.
Is he
what are the fucking odds? Why does this keep happening to us?
Oh my God, that's crazy. That is weird.
Okay, here's Jay Bulger. He's in a bunch of movies I've never seen and never will. Wow. Oh, he directed 3 things. Okay, what's he an actor in? No. Okay. Okay. That looks like a wild romp of boring.
Oh no! Well, just they think they're Martin Scorsese, and it's like you're not.
No.
You're not. Don't even try. Just go home. But I bought a camera. Shut up. Just get outside. I learned how to use Final Cut Pro to put that old 1970s vintage look into
But
the
cool.
movie.
Martin Scorsese does not know what Final Cut Pro is. He has no idea.
No, he doesn't care.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, Honeymoon in Vegas. Let's just start there.
Yes.
And I guess let's get our thoughts out of the way of that. And then we can break it down specifically.
I mean, like I said, I haven't seen this movie in like 20 years, but I remember vividly seeing the promos for it on Entertainment Tonight. Like I have more of a memory of that than seeing anything of the movie, because the big sell was they jump out of a plane, a bunch of Elvis impersonators, and Nic Cage is one of them jumping out of a plane in Elvis gear, and he's going to go propose to Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Does that happen at the end of the movie or at the beginning of the movie?
So the story is of this movie, Honeymoon in Vegas, from
If you can say that.
1992. I can't believe it's on Blu-ray, first of all. But anyway, the opening scene is a comedy scene. Let me just say it's directed by Andrew Bergman, who Cage has worked with in a few movies. The other one is after this. It's It Could Happen to You, which is a fine movie.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's a more of a chick movie, really.
Well, that's what it is. This is his chick flick period of his career.
But this has a good blend. The problem with this movie is it reminded me of Adam Sandler movies now.
Oh, wow.
This is a current Adam Sandler movie. And that tells you how behind the times Adam Sandler is. This is 1992. That's fucked up.
It's got an amazing cast, though.
But the opening scene is his mom's dying, and she goes, "Promise me you won't get married." And he's like, I can't do that, Mom. I can't promise you that. And she's like, "You'll be much happier without it." And then she dies. And then it's like, haha, Honeymoon in Vegas. And it cuts in this cartoon animation. I'm like, we just saw an old woman die. And now you're going to, it's totally all the fuck over the place. Then it goes into Nic Cage, and he's like a private eye, which does not tie into the rest of the movie whatsoever. He's with Sarah Jessica Parker. She's like super good, and she goes to his poker games, and she's super good, super girlfriend, you know. And then not the Joe Dante, or was it Joe Dante movie, or who made that movie? My Super X or whatever. Who made that movie?
Ivan Reitman?
Is that Ivan Reitman?
It might have been
I'm thinking of the Joe Dante one where I buried my ex, or something.
Dead girlfriend with Alexandria Daddario.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stopping in our tracks here.
That's what I'm thinking about right now.
Anyway, so
no, Joe Dante.
But they go to Vegas because he finally says, "I'll marry you," because it's a year later and they're starting to fall apart. And he's like, "All right, I will commit. I will do this. Let's go do it." They go to Vegas. He's like, "Let's do it tonight. The sun's going down. We get all dressed up. We go and do it right." And he's like, first, James Caan sees them enter the hotel, and he has flashbacks of his wife who's dead. And it's exactly like her, Sarah Jessica Parker, of all fucking people. He's like, I gotta have this woman, and he slips an invite under their door for a poker night. Nic Cage is like convinces her to go to the poker night. He goes by himself. He goes in there, and then James Caan just rigs it so he loses $65,000. And he's like, and it's the plot of Indecent Proposal. I will forgive your debts. Not this part, but if you give me a weekend with your girlfriend, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, she's not going to be into that. I'll tell her, though. He tells her, she freaks out, but does it. They immediately go to Hawaii, and it's just him chasing them down the rest of the movie. And then he shows, at the very end, he shows up in the Elvis, they skydive. And he lands and gets his bride back. Well, yada, 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 yada. Very simple, very obvious what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen, and you sit there and wait for it to happen. It's a chick flick. With that being said, we have Mr. Miyagi showing up for a couple scenes, which were fine. He's played a Japanese man and now a Hawaiian.
There you go.
And my girlfriend was there who speaks Hawaiian, and she's like, they're not saying Hawaiian words at all. I was like, I didn't think so, but I'm glad you're here to confirm that.
Muy, muy, ow, bitch.
But there is a funny scene where Nic Cage is on the phone trying to find them, and he's like, "Is that wow with 3 A's? Oh or 2 A's, 3 A's?" And I was laughing because I did the same thing when I'm like, they're all every street sign. I'm like, that looks the exact same to me.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
HAIEIEIO.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell a difference here. And then her sister would say a town. I'm like, that sounds exactly like the last thing you said. They just everything sounds the same because there's only like 6 letters in their fucking alphabet. But
right,
but overall, it's okay. I gave it a 5 the first time I watched it. I actually liked it more the second time.
Oh wow!
Because I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh, here we go." I was like, I know where this is going, and I'm more along for the ride. I'm not as impatient, and I appreciated it more. So I gave it a 6.
Wow. I'd probably give it a 5 if I watched it again. I just didn't care. I didn't have any want nor need to be like, I gotta watch this movie.
Jensen said after he voted for his, which I'll reveal later, he voted and he goes, I go, "Oh, Jensen," he goes, "I'll die on this hill."
You go, girl. You go down that hill, baby.
I went out there on our break and I held my girlfriend's phone up and I took a picture of my nipple.
Sure.
It's like a really obscene photo. Like,
but then up close, it just looks like a piece of pepperoni on a pizza.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know what it is.
She sent it back to you. She's like, "Really?" Anyway,
I'd fuck me so hard.
We did meet James Caan.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I did too. Halfway through the movie, I'm like, "Oh,
That's
fuck, I met him."
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it at the school? Because he came out of the door of
He
the.
came out. We talked to him outside. He was super cool. It's a guy you expect to be a total asshole, but
No,
he
he
went
was
outside.
awesome.
He didn't have to. He was off the clock.
Yeah.
He did his speech. He came out and he hung outside, smoked like 4 packs of cigarettes with everyone, and just was sitting there chit chatting. And I'm like,
Godfather.
I'm like, this is fucking James Caan. Like,
and this is like right when Elf was coming out.
You say Elf, I want to say The Way of the Gun.
Well, that Way of the Gun already came out. Elf came out in 2003.
Elf came out right during that.
Right after Way of the Gun.
I did get to tell him I appreciate Way of the Gun.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't mention the fact that you could see his nipples, his erect nipples through the whole movie.
Sure, yeah.
His nipples are on full display in that movie.
He's like the Cuomo's nipples when he was wearing that shirt. Something about old men and their nipples and sheer shirts. You can't wear them.
But this is literally 20 years after Godfather.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he's too old for her. He gets really pushy and tells her to marry him. And he's coming up with all these lies. Like, he's your husband, or, Nic Cage is the one that came up with this idea, only over 3,000. And it was his idea, and he put you up, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I wanted money, and he tries to do all that. It's a little too much going on in this movie, like globetrotting for no fucking reason. Like, they go to Hawaii, and they come right back to Vegas. I'm like, that seems unnecessary.
Well, it's written by the guy that did Blazing Saddles, which is kind of amazing to me.
Really?
But he co-wrote Blazing Saddles. Like, he was buddies with Mel Brooks for a while, doing stuff with him, and he kind of went off and did his own thing, and I don't think he's directed anything in a while. He must just do TV now.
Are you talking about Andrew Bergman?
I'm talking about Bergman.
Yeah. He's done some stuff. Let me pull him up right now.
I was perusing his IMDb page. I was
he did write
shit.
Blazing Saddles and Fletch and Striptease.
That's right, Fletch. Well, Striptease probably ruined his career. That was the one that probably fucked him up so bad he's never come back.
He wrote The Freshman.
Yeah, The Freshman's supposed to be a good movie.
He wrote The Scout.
The Scout is not a good
movie.
No, nobody liked that movie.
He directed Isn't She Great in 2000, the last thing he did.
Oh.
But yeah, he did these 2 Nic Cage movies back to back. And then Striptease, he directed. And Isn't She Great, which is what is that? Oh, it's a Bette Midler, Nathan Lane movie.
Oh my God, it sounds like hell on earth.
Holy shit, that sounds awful. No wonder he's done.
Oh my God, put me in that.
He's not directing TV. Let's just say that that was his last credit.
Put me in that zombie meat pie creep show thing. I don't want to watch that movie.
He wrote the script for The In-Laws with Michael Douglas.
That's
and
right. Yeah, I saw that.
Was it.
That was and that was like one of the biggest bombs of all time too. The
he
In-Laws.
also produced Striptease.
Yeah,
his name is all over.
Have you ever sat and watched Striptease all the way through?
Striptease is fucking god awful. And then the other one, the Paul Verhoeven one, Showgirls.
No, Showgirls is more fun.
Yeah.
Striptease, it's just weird. It's a weird movie because it's supposed to be a comedy, but it's like a political thriller because they're covering up the murder.
Oh, I forgot about that.
A guy who's just a fucking stalker of Demi Moore, which in this movie, I would be too, because Demi Moore was unbelievably hot in this movie. I mean, she was like, this was her prime Demi Moore, where she was just like, oh my God, ridiculous. But now she's just a fucking nut. She thinks she's 18. She's out of her mind. Is that your nipple?
My nipple shot.
Chill came up my spine right there.
You're welcome.
It looked like a broken eyeball. It looked like a broken
tattoos.
It looks like a broken eye of Ra from the Egyptian times.
It was.
Your nipple is cuneiform. Or
I have the most generic white guy nipples. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just there.
Nothing wrong with a little nipple. Nothing wrong with it.
I always love male nipples because I'm like, why do we have them? Why do we have nipples?
Because you want to pinch them when you're fucking.
Put some clamps on them.
Put some clamps on them.
Okay.
Dress up like John Carroll Lynch.
Let's get to the flip side of that coin.
Let's can I have a drink first and get into the mode? I need 5 gallons.
Las Vegas.
I got 5 gallons of tequila.
I know we had to talk about leaving Las Vegas, so I brought out my favorite bottle.
Oh my God, look at that.
Kraken,
yeah.
Fucking Kraken. I love it.
Well, what's the mixture today? What is your Kraken and Dr. Pepper? Diet Dr. Pepper?
Right now it's Pepsi. It's going to switch over here in a second.
Wow, holy shit.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
I'm fucking surprised you're not half diabetic.
All
the sugar and booze, because booze is sugar, you know.
Yeah, depends on what you get, but yeah, this one definitely.
Well, rum, Kraken is probably half sugar.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
but
pure.
Other than this, I don't eat sugar.
Oh, okay.
So because family diabetic, so I take care. I do look after that. I'm good there. Unlike Nic Cage in this fucking broken movie.
Oh my God.
So
it ties itself. And okay, so this movie and Raising Arizona have the 2 longest openings in history.
Yeah.
But this one's longer, I think.
Oh, this one's way longer. It's
way
a
longer
in general. But as far as plot goes, Nic Cage gets fired as being a writer because he's an alcoholic, and then he moves to Vegas to drink himself to death, and that does such.
Yeah, pretty much.
Elizabeth Shue is a hooker and befriends him, and they fall in love.
Here's the thing. You say the booze killed him. I say Elizabeth Shue killed him. She fucked him to death.
Well, she might have finished him off.
I think she fucked him to death. That's just what happened.
I don't blame her vagina for the last 5 minutes of his 40-year wasted alcoholic life.
No, she did it. It was beauty that killed the beast.
Hey, I will say this. I'm still willing to take that bullet to fuck Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue, even today.
I don't know why this woman does not get enough credit. I'm watching her in this movie. I'm like, God damn, man.
Oh yeah,
Hollow Man.
I think she gets enough credit for being
Karate Kid,
Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, but she doesn't get nobody mentions her. I never hear her name brought up.
I've heard it. I think she gets credit for being a hottie. I think she's got the street cred.
Not even a hottie, a good actress. She was nominated for this movie.
And this is it. This is the only time she's nominated.
Yeah, she was great in this movie.
Oh, she's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and had to do a lot. As much as all her scenes are kind of the same, really, she has to do a wide variety of how she reacts to the exact same scene with Nic Cage.
Well, did you read the trivia on the movie that this is probably the only time a screen test was used to be put into the movie? All the interviews with her talking to the therapist or whatever was her screen test, and she was talking to the makeup, or she was talking to the makeup.
It was her wardrobe test.
Yeah, a wardrobe test. Yeah.
Yeah. So throughout the movie, it'll intercut itself with Elizabeth Shue, and she's talking to someone. You kind of assume it's a therapist based on what she's saying, but then once you realize the reality of it's basically her like describing idea, like talking in character to someone off screen. And it's really her wardrobe person, and she's just kind of talking.
No,
and I don't even know if Mike Figgis was there, to be honest.
He was smoking cigarettes outside.
But he threw it in the movie, and fucking what a ballsy move, because the studio was like, no, we're not doing that. And he's like, yeah, I am. Like,
got the nomination, yeah.
And I watch it, and I'm like, yeah, it makes
fits.
Perfect sense.
It works.
Because Elizabeth Shue was fully committed during that. If she was kind of like, I fuck dudes, and like fucking around, it would not have worked. But luckily, she was just in character. Because that could have went completely different.
Or Elizabeth Shue is just a whore.
But her stories are like, I got this guy, and he pins me down, he pulls my hair, and he keeps fucking me, and then he comes out and he sticks his penis in my mouth, and he comes in my hair, he rubs his
he was a big fat guy who's hairy, and
he was so proud of his erection. And he rubs his semen in my hair.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, it was so awful listening to that. I was like, oh my god, this is so depressing.
Awful, but you're also like, yeah, that probably happened.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again,
it's gonna happen 7 to 8 times a week.
How awful people are. Yeah.
I have a weird opinion on like hookers and stuff, where I'm like, I don't judge them.
No,
but
I just murder them and cut them up.
Yeah, you don't judge someone while you're throwing them in a Wendy's dumpster.
No,
you don't need to judge them at that point.
When I dig my shallow grave and do what makes me feel like God, and I leave them there. I feel good. I'm fine.
I feel like God. I'm good.
Did you ever see that Norm Macdonald bit where he talks about murdering somebody and he goes, "You're always in a shallow grave. Wouldn't you want to dig the deepest hole possible to bury a body in?"
Oh, let's go to Leaving Las Vegas for this.
Oh, look at that! Oh my god.
Let's go to this one. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Look at that. Wow.
And I mentioned earlier we're going to go back and forth. We're not going back and forth as quick as I thought we would. So,
well, there's not much else to talk about. Honeymoon
the
Vegas.
Plot with Leaving Las Vegas is really simple. It's a character study. It really,
that's all it is. Yeah.
It's not a plot-driven movie. It really isn't. And that's not it sounds like a negative. It's totally not. Some movies get away with just being character studies, and that's all it is. What's it called? One of my favorite movies, the fucking oil movie. Why can't I think of what it's called?
Something about Mary.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. Yeah,
There Will Be Blood. Not a lot happens in that movie. It's a character study. It's a little piece, and you watch it, and that's it. It's just the characters and how they react, and the story really doesn't matter, honestly.
I have a friend who absolutely can't stand Daniel Day-Lewis. She thinks he's a horrible actor. I'm just like,
I think Frank's that way too, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. Frank hates.
I hope it wasn't Adam, because I want to remember his memory well.
No, Adam, I don't know. You don't remember. I'd have to listen to the old tapes.
I think it's Frank.
It might be Frank.
We still record on audio cassette.
I do.
We're the only YouTube channel that records exclusively on audio cassette.
I'm gonna next time I'll bring out my audio cassette recorder.
This show is only available on Maxell tapes.
That's it. And if you don't got them, you're fucked.
You got that guy in the chair.
Would you like to listen to your tapes? Yes, jeez. God, I missed that.
The loud fucking like Glock noise. It sounds like they're talking to Glock when you push the play button.
I miss those days so bad. I hate the modern era now.
I miss how important music was to me back then, because I had to go like I remember putting it in a cassette and then like fast forwarding to when that last song ended and going okay, and waiting on the radio and go okay,
push record,
and I missed like the first 15 seconds of it.
Or you catch it halfway through, go, oh shit! Yeah. Push record. And your tape had something else on it, so you're listening to the tape, and all of a sudden it goes, and a new song comes on.
Or VHS tapes of MST3K, where like my parents' wedding, I'm like, nah, we'll record over that shit.
Oh my god!
Fuck them. They don't even remember that.
I remember. What was funny for film school? You had to send them like a film reel or something. I got my thing taken down. I guess my short film was on the back end or the front end of a DS9 episode that I taped. So it was that with the tape that went to the film school. So they got to watch a whole episode of DS9 too. So I said, yeah, I directed that. That's my work.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Gene Roddenberry.
The what I did for that was all writing because I had
Yeah.
already written a ton of shit by then. So I'm like,
You know, they didn't read or watch anything.
No.
They waited for the check to clear, and then they were like, okay, he comes to come in.
Well, I even realized that in the moment. I go, they don't need a video.
No.
All they want is my money.
Yep.
Here's my writing.
Yeah.
And I was like, here you go. And they're like, 25 minutes later, you got accepted. I was like, yeah, I know.
I knew, yeah, immediately, yeah.
Yeah. But Leaving Las Vegas is it's a filmmaker's movie more than anything. Filmmaker and actor. And that's really about it.
It's an actor's piece, yeah.
Well, it's an actor's piece, but it wouldn't work if you didn't have if literally anyone but Mike Figgis directed this. I don't know if it would work as well as it did. I'm not even complimenting Mike Figgis on this. I'm just saying he knew what he wanted to make and why he wanted to make it. And it lightning in a bottle here, and he made this movie and got an Oscar and a nomination for another one, which is honestly more than you can ever hope for. So kudos to him. And he's an actor turned director, and he's in this movie as a weird fucking mobster who stares at Nic Cage when he's pumping gas in his car. But okay, so let's back up and go supporting cast. Let's not go with Nic Cage yet. Supporting cast in this is Sarah Jessica Parker and James Caan, who got top billing over Cage.
Well, obviously, yes.
In this, you have Elizabeth Shue, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, there's not. You got Julian Sands in there as a Russian, but he's in it for like maybe 15 minutes.
And if you watch the credits in the movie, it's like Nic Cage, Elizabeth Shue, Julian Sands, and then down below is all the rest of the people.
Yeah.
It's like Julian Sands got like third billing, but the movie's got like Richard Lewis, Steven Weber.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. French Stewart shows up for no fucking reason. Mike Figgis isn't, like we said.
Yeah.
What's his fucking name? The actor Xander Berkeley is in there as a cab driver. What's his fucking name from Roseanne is in here.
That's right. Metcalf.
Laurie Metcalf is in here.
Laurie Metcalf. That's right. Yeah.
We're gonna
have to kick you out. I'm sorry. You have a week to leave.
Yeah, she has a couple scenes, but she plays them up. Just the Steppenwolf Theater had to make an appearance in the movie.
Yeah.
Thomas Capacci is in here. He's an older actor. I know him mostly from Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. He plays the catheter cowboy.
Oh wow! Okay.
To Donald Trump.
Wow.
Oh man, he's great in that. Lucinda Jenny's in this. There's a ton of fucking like smaller actors or bigger actors that that just show up in little scenes. Danny.
Arlie Emery.
Arlie Emery shows up, and then also Danny Houston shows up as a bartender.
That's right,
with a flock of seagulls' hair.
Though this was at this point, I wouldn't say Danny Houston was an actor.
No, but you know who he is now. So
but you know who he is now. But yeah.
There's a lot of those characters in this movie that show up, and like just during Wings. So Steven Weber shows up. That was a big get.
Maybe Mike Figgis did some Wings episodes.
I don't know. But it was funny because the introductory scene before the credits, for the opening credits, where Richard Lewis and Steven Weber are at a dinner with like two young actresses, like two booby girls, like, and they're sitting there trying to impress them. And then Cage walks up and he's like, "Hey guys," and they're like, "Oh," immediately like, "Oh fuck, here he is," and he starts begging for money from Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
And then he goes and they show him at work and he gets fired and he's hopping around at the store, like putting liquor in the cart, which was supposed to happen later in Vegas, but they thought it was funny and amplified the character, so they put it in early.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Nic Cage's performance in this movie got him an Oscar, and I think it was deserved. Especially, can you imagine this year, especially? 95 is my favorite year for movies. So many of my favorite movies came out in 95. Even like guilty pleasure movies, but He beat Mel Gibson in Braveheart and shit like that. Brad Pitt or Morgan Freeman, whoever you want to nominate in Seven.
Well, yeah.
Usual Suspects. Just a bunch of people he beat out, and I actually think it was deserved because I've never seen, anytime you see someone play an alcoholic, it's always played up for comedic value, and he doesn't do that. He looks like a real alcoholic.
Yeah.
My mom has 4 or 5 siblings that are this or were this when they're alive, and obviously they're dead now because they did this for 25 fucking years. But this is how they would never eat. They'd make meals and touch 2 bites and then done.
Yeah.
And they would just drink, and their eyes, like they did such a good job with his eyes, how they were red and puffy, but also like the bloodshot looking effect.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job with his mannerisms, and he didn't go Cage in this, which I was amazed with because it seems prime Cage. You're going to play a drunk. But no, he played it like a real fucking person would.
Yeah.
Honeymoon in Vegas, he plays it up, and he reminded me more of his character in like Weatherman than anything, where he would be calm and then scream and then calm and then scream, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just pathetic. He's playing it like really so pathetic in this movie, and he's so good. I mean, it's a hard movie to watch. Like, I get why Jansen was like, "Oh, I can't talk about it. I hurt too much."
Yeah, but it's like watching fucking a Justin Timberlake, Mila Kunis comedy, whatever that's called, Friends with Benefits or whatever.
Friends with Benefits, yeah.
And I'm watching Schindler's List, and you're like, this one made me sad, so therefore Friends with Benefits is better. And you're like, no,
God, really?
No. And Jansen's willing to die on that hill, so no, I don't agree with his fucking hill. His hill. As far, let's break it down a little further here. I know you haven't seen Honeymoon in Vegas in a while, but it did feel like an Adam Sandler movie to me.
Yeah.
But do you have any other thoughts on Honeymoon in Vegas?
Not particularly.
Yeah. Anything on Leaving Las Vegas?
Oh, I mean, Leaving Las Vegas, you could really talk about it for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just...
We're going to clearly discuss that more because there's more there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just... Honeymoon in Vegas is fluff. It's shit. Leaving Las Vegas is like a fucking character study of just depression and self-hate and loathingness. And
well, you know how we say, you and I often talk about Big Lebowski. We had this conversation with Adam a bunch where we're like, I would say plot really doesn't matter. It's a character movie. But that's a comedic version. This is the serious version where the plot, honestly, there's no plot. There's no goal they're working toward.
No.
At all. It's literally
there's a goal. He's working toward killing himself.
But that's not a goal you want to watch. Like, yeah, you're not rooting.
He did it.
and he did it.
He did it. He succeeded.
Yeah.
Even though he was gone for about 10 minutes of the film, and then Elizabeth Shue kicks him out because he's getting a blowjob from that other whore.
Well, it made sense in the moment because they had to get rid of him for a little bit to go from like really bad to death.
Well, that's why I think he did it on purpose, because he didn't want her to be like, "You can't love me. I told you can't love me."
Yeah, he wanted to get rid of her, and then he's like, in my last moment, closure for both of us, I guess. But
sure,
it is a character movie where the plot, honestly, I hate to say this because it sounds like a negative, but the plot is almost non-existent. He wants to die. She doesn't understand, but she's willing to go along with it because he's flawed too.
There's that great scene where she gives him gifts, and he opens up there's a flask, and he goes, "Oh, this girl knows me. She understands me. The first time I ever have someone who understood me." I was like, "Oh my god, this movie's fucked."
It's the reason I say this movie couldn't exist with another director is because of the way it's shot, and it keeps playing the same fucking song throughout
that. I wanted to get to that. Yeah,
that does become draining. I will admit to that, but they put it, it's a 2-hour movie, and they put it in just enough where it wasn't driving me crazy.
It almost drove me crazy.
It started to toward the end. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, just finish the fucking song. Like,
Don't make me happy.
yeah. But they would cut to like shots of Vegas and like fading, like the camera starts doing this, and it cut to Cage and he's doing something crazy. But it was all like montagey sort of feel.
Yeah.
Which works because it's supposed to take. He mentions when he moves. He arrives in Vegas. He meets her. He almost hits her with a car, and she stops him. And there's a little quirky moment, and they meet cute. And then later on, he hires her. He immediately says $500 for sex or something like that. And she's like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, "No, I mean, I live here." Like, there's a couple quirky moments where he's like, "I live at the what's the
Nowhere
name?
Hotel.
No, it's like rest of the year hotel." And then in his mind, he sees the sign as rest of your life because he's only going to live another month. He says, and he hires her, and he go back to the hotel, and he's like, she tries to blow him, and she's like, "You can't come, Kenny." And he's like, "No, just don't worry about it." And he admits to her that he's there to kill himself while drinking. And he goes, "I'm either here to kill myself with drinking, or I either want to die because I want to drink, or I want to drink because I want to die. It doesn't matter." He says the same thing about his wife. She either left because I'm an alcoholic, or I'm alcoholic, so she left.
Yeah.
Like, I drank because she left, or she left because I drink. Like, either way, he just wants to die. He just wants to kill himself. And where the fuck is I going with this? Holy shit. Oh man.
You gotta stop drinking.
There. Oh man. No, I was talking about
soft brain.
So, oh god, I kill myself. The podcast left me because I drank, or I drink because the podcast left me. Which happened first?
I love podcasting.
No, it was he hires her, tells her that, and yada yada yada. Okay. He's gonna kill himself with drinking. That's really all it boils down to for the plot. And she's a hooker, and I'm glad they didn't chicken shit out, because if you ever notice with hookers in movies, like even True Romance, it's always their first time. It's my first time being a hooker.
Yeah.
Here I go, my first night as a hooker. And it's like, because you don't want it to literally be a hooker. Like, if you're going to make it a hooker, make it a fucking This movie doesn't chicken shit out. She's a fucking hooker.
Oh, yeah.
She's been around the block.
Yeah.
And they do not hold back in some of these scenes. And especially toward the end, they get fucking brutal. And he's a drunk, and it's not a fun drunk. And okay, that's what I was getting to. He goes, he eventually moves in with her. She convinces him to move in with her, and he goes, "All right, I'm going to do that. I will definitely do that. No problem there. I just want you to know, you can never tell me to stop drinking. You can never say that to me." And she's like, "Okay, I won't." Going back to your gift. That's why she gets him the flask. She's like,
"Yeah,
this is what you are. I agree to this."
Yeah.
And just his lines of dialogue right there are just like so sad, because he's complete, like, he's not trying to go, he's not throwing up that flare saying like, "Please help me." He's just going, "No, stay the fuck out of my way. I'm here to kill myself in 30 days. I have enough money for 30 days to get me dead." And that's his goal. That's it.
I sold my car this morning, my BMW.
When Julian Assange is selling his ring and his stuff for $1,000, and he's like, no, I threw in the ring too. And then Nic Cage comes in, and if you look at IMDb, it says that ring or Nic Cage's watch should have sold for $23,000. He sells it for $500.
Wow, yeah.
He's like, a '93 Rolex, $500. You got a deal.
Shit.
Yeah, sells his watch, sells his car.
Yeah.
He's there to ride it out. And that's it. That's the whole fucking movie. And for some reason, I've seen it twice now, and I'm just like staring.
Yeah, are you gonna watch this movie again ever, or are you pretty much done? You might be out of the.
It's. I don't agree with Jens. I don't think sad movies are like, oh, it made me sad, therefore it has no value. I don't agree with that. I do agree with some movies trying to be overly sad, but I don't think this is overly sad for me. Overly sad would be he has kids, you know what I mean? Like his kids, and he beats the kids, and like Lilia Forever. Do you remember that movie we watched with Remco?
Oh God.
It's the Russian girl who goes to Russia and she gets put in the sex trade, and then her friend is killed, and like she jumps off a bridge at the end to get out of this life. And I'm like, this is just sad for sad's sake.
I don't think I watched that movie.
Yeah,
Or I blocked it out.
He dragged me to the theater and we watched that. And
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that in
fuck
the theater.
this movie.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
It was just like everything has to be sad all the time, and it was like that movie bothered me because it was like,
That must have been when I was back home for vacation or something.
I don't know, but
Because you guys couldn't leave. Remco couldn't really go back home, so he just stayed in LA and went to really horribly sad movies. Apparently,
it was it's like a Swedish movie that was shot.
Of course,
in Russia. And it was like they literally live in like a fucking dilapidated building, and like and they're all fucked up, and she gets kidnapped and raped and put in a sex trade, and I'm like, it's just one bad thing. That's what I consider too sad to even enjoy.
So it's just like Rambo: Last Blood.
Yeah, Rambo: Last Blood.
Rambo: Last Blood is the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, only you get that satisfaction where he builds this weird underground bunker of torture.
There's no reason at all for Rambo to have a bunch of fucking tunnels under his property of his horse ranch. There is no point, but they make it a point so he could kill the cartel at the end of the movie.
He kills them in horrible ways.
It's so great.
Like stuff
Last
in the first
Blood
Rambo
is
movie.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, and it's so fucked up.
But at least that also had balls where it didn't just like, you hurt my stepdaughter, therefore she fucking OD'd.
She dies after being repeatedly pumped with heroin and rape.
And he has to drive her back from Mexico all the way back to Texas, where the fuck they are. And he's just sitting there next to a dead body, like stewing, but at least they didn't hold back. Like,
oh no, yeah, no,
you're gonna do it, fucking do it.
Yeah, that's why I gave all that movie all the credit in the world.
Oh, it's way better than Rambo, or John Rambo.
Well, Rambo is fun just because it's a kind of schlocky action movie.
Dexter's wife wants to tour Vietnam and like, or Saigon.
Burma.
What they were.
Burma's a war zone.
Yeah, and he goes in there with his bow and arrow and starts killing people. That's all he
Fuck
does.
the world.
That's where you get the Sylvester Stallone glory shot.
Did you watch the Suicide Squad yet?
Not yet.
There's a scene that reminds me of the John Rambo movies where he's shooting everybody in the village because they go to rescue. They're supposed to rescue Flag, and they kill everybody in the camp. It ends up being a good guy camp because he didn't tell them. They just told him that he was being captured and tortured, but he wasn't. He was just having tea, and they kill everybody. Okay. It's so funny. But there's a scene where Idris Elba shoots somebody in the head, but it's full frontal male nudity. He goes, oh! He shoots him in the head, kills him. So John Cena and Idris Elba are killing everybody in the camp, showing off how good killers they are. And they finally get to the last cabin, and it's Rick Flag who they got to rescue, laughing with the captors.
You say Ric Flair?
Ric Flair. Woo! He's there. I'm getting so much pussy. And then he goes, wait a minute, what'd you guys just do? Did you murder all my friends? They go, they're all like, it's pretty fucking funny. And then King Shark, who is voiced by Sylvester Stallone, burps up a foot, or burps up like I forget if it's a metal or it's a foot. I can't remember which one it was.
Part of the reason I didn't laugh as much during the Deadpool scene, or Deadpool 2, where they're all parachuting and getting killed, is because they reminded me of the MacGruber scene where he's like, they take their time and they pick the person out and they go and get him. And they do the whole like Ocean's 11 montage.
Yeah.
They get him in the van. And they're like, and it blows up. And he's like, oh yeah. MacGruber loses his shit.
Well, that joke's been done.
So I watched that and I was like,
MacGruber did it first.
During MacGruber, and then Deadpool 2 came out and one guy dies. I go, oh, it's just gonna be this. And then the funny bit is that it's Brad Pitt, and I was like, oh, Brad Pitt showed up for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's still a good bit, but I'm like, I already got this on MacGruber.
Yeah. But nobody saw MacGruber,
Exactly. Yeah. So
he could get away
Deadpool
with it.
gets all the credit.
They think Ryan Reynolds is a genius for ripping off MacGruber.
Yeah, and I'm like, MacGruber did it way funnier because his reaction after it blows up is like snot on it, like, oh god, what did I do? I'm such a fuck up.
Yeah, I didn't care. Deadpool 2 was okay. It was some of it was fine. I didn't care. I think the first one was much better.
I like the last few minutes of it the most. The part where it's dramatic and he goes by and he realizes and he fixes it and saves Ryan Reynolds instead.
Yeah,
Like, I thought that had more heart than anything
Right.
previously.
yeah, it
And I
was
was like,
fine.
it's supposed to be a comedy, but I'm actually liking the serious elements of this. Like where he,
Right,
fixes it,
yeah.
he goes back and saves his wife. Like
Yeah,
that part worked for me more than any of the comedy.
right. Yeah.
Deadpool 1's fun. I like Deadpool 1.
I like Deadpool 1 better.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But
You can't go wrong with Brolin.
no, Brolin's pretty
The
awesome.
man can do anything.
And he's coming back. I guess he's going to do Deadpool 3, and he's going to be Cable again.
Well, I
Because
assume.
that's why they're talking about, he needs Thanos, and now he's Cable again. He's going back and forth. And he can do it. He could do it.
The man, I've known that man my entire life because of Goonies.
Yeah.
And seeing him reinvent himself is kind of amazing because he had a long period there where he did not do much. Like from after Goonies, he did what? Thrashin', the skateboarding movie, which is just awful.
Was he in Solar Babies?
Maybe.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I haven't watched that yet because it's on my list for this show, the movie Battle.
He's in Hollow Man as well, you realize.
As a scientist.
He is in Hollow Man. He's Elizabeth
just watched Hollow Man.
Shue's boyfriend.
Yes, he shows up and then dies at the end.
Did he die?
I'm pretty sure he died. No, she does save him because they're on the elevator crashes and she jumps down. So yeah, she lets him get away. He does live. Sorry, I was thinking the other guy. He gets stabbed, but he gets back up.
Right. I can't. I forgot about
I just
Hollow
rewatched
Man.
it.
Yeah, you just watched it. Yeah.
And because I haven't seen that since it came out, and I
haven't
when it
either.
came out. And this time I watched it and I was like, okay, I see what he's going for now. Like, as an adult, you appreciate it more. I just saw it as a fucking glorified rape fest for Kevin Bacon, and I was like, no. But
that's all I see every Kevin Bacon movie.
But now as an adult, I focus more on how Kevin Bacon is an egomaniac, and I'm like, all right, now I get the movie, what it's going for. It's setting up for rape. It's not just rape.
You're talking about the character, not Kevin Bacon personally.
No, Kevin Bacon is a rapist.
Kevin Bacon is a rapist.
Hold on.
Can I go invisible?
Hold on. I have more facts to state that Kevin Bacon is a rapist in real life than just in Hollow Man. Because you got Hollow Man, you got the Woodsman.
Oh my God, you're right.
You got what's the
Sleepers? Sleepers. Yeah. Oh God, forgot about that.
The Barry Levinson Sleepers movie.
Right.
You got
a male prostitute in JFK.
You got Wild Things where you see his dick.
It's true.
He doesn't rape anyone, but
he doesn't rape anyone, but he does show his dick.
I'm just pointing things out here. I love Kevin Bacon.
And then he's in. Did you know that Kevin Bacon and Gary Oldman are in a movie together twice, or maybe not? Hold on. Because it was Murder in the First, and it was another movie.
Yeah, Murder in the First is a good movie. He kills a guy with a spoon.
Yes, the Murder in the First. I don't think I've watched Murder in the First always.
Murder in the First, he sharpens a spoon. He's a prisoner, and he sharpens a spoon on the cement outside, and he stabs a dude in the face with it.
There's a movie called it's way back here. Gary Oldman did it. Like in the early 90s. It's it actually might have been the 80s. Yeah, Criminal Law.
Criminal Law.
Criminal Law is Gary Oldman and Kevin Bacon is a murderer. And so Kevin Bacon is toying with Gary Oldman in this movie because Gary Oldman's a lawyer. Yeah, 88.
And also has Tess Harper.
And Joe Don Baker.
Joe Don fucking
Mitchell.
Oh no.
Oh my Mitchell. And it also has it's directed by Martin Campbell, who's a very good director. He's done Casino Royale and Mask of Zorro.
Martin Campbell knows what he's doing. Okay.
Green Lantern. Ooh,
No, Green Lantern isn't bad. I'll be
that's
honest.
for money. That's for money.
I watched Green Lantern. I go, not bad. Green Hornet is way worse for me.
Green Hornet is a bad movie. Yeah.
Green Hornet is way worse. There's nothing to enjoy there.
No, you're right.
Green Hornet was so fucking. I stopped 3/4 of the way through. I never do that, and I go, I just can't. Green Lantern. I'm like, oh, this is bad, and I enjoyed the schlock.
I don't understand how The Mask of Zorro has a 6.8 rating. It's way better than that.
I don't like Zorro, so I agree with that. But
Well, because you don't like Mexicans.
hate him.
I'm giving it a 9 to
Um,
push that score up.
There's an actor in this movie that's literally named Rob Roy.
Rob Roy.
Is he? What's his? Oh, what the fuck? Why can't I blank on his name? I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna kill you. He was Rob Roy.
Liam Neeson.
94.
Yeah,
Liam Neeson was Rob Roy in '94, right?
that's true. Yeah, he was Rob Roy in '94.
All right.
That's a movie with rape in it. Speaking of rape,
Well, every Irish movie is rape.
Eric Roth rapes Jessica Lange. It's a really awful, dark scene too, and he impregnates her, and they have his kid, and then Rob Roy has to cleave him in half, essentially.
Cleave
with
him
a
in twain.
giant
Cleave him in twain.
And I guess there's a
He
YouTube
cleaved it in twain.
swine.
Robin Hood
Oh,
Men in Tights.
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
shoots through the arrow in half. He cleaved it in twain.
hang on back. I hate that guy.
Ugh.
No, I guess there's some YouTube channel where they stunt people and swords people, like craft people, watch these fights and sword fights and action scenes, and they explain why they don't work in reality and why this is. And I guess Rob Roy was what he said. Rob Roy is actually one of the most ridiculous sword fights because there's no way you could do anything in that movie that he does.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie since '94, probably.
Okay, wait, I watched it like 2 years ago because I'd never
really?
seen it before. Yeah, I had
There we go.
never seen it before, and it was one of those.
They look
What's
like
on
they all have the
Amazon?
genitals out behind us. Look at that picture.
Oh my
His dick
god!
is out, and she's completely nude.
Is that Joe Don Baker next to Jimmy Kahn?
No, that's Don
Don Ho.
Ho. It's not really. It could be. I don't know. Don Ho's
It's
a fat guy.
It's Hawaii, right?
It's Hawaii, but Don Ho's a big fat dude.
You can't tell from this picture.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I just remembered something because I pulled the IMDb. You know who shows up as a Hawaiian chief in this movie? Okay, so he arrives in Hawaii to stop their marriage. James Caan's like mafia dude realizes it and is like, "Hey, he's here." And James Caan makes a phone call to Pat Morita. And he's like, "Hey, stall him." He's like, "All right, yeah." And he goes, Nic Cage arrives and he goes, "Do you know where Tommy Corman lives?" And Pat Morita's like, "Yeah." Here's this scene. "I know exactly where he is. Yeah." And he drives him to a shack. And the shack, they pull up in the shack and they get out and they go in there and he goes, "This is Chief, what's his fucking name? Chief Orman." And he goes, Not Orman, Tommy Corman. I could not have been more clear on that fucking name." Like Cage goes off on him. And then he goes, "All right, well, okay, be respectful to the chief. He might know where Tommy Orman lives." And then the door opens. And it was like Club Dread, where Bill Paxton comes out as the fake Jimmy Buffett, because it's Peter Boyle as a Hawaiian chief. And he comes out and he's speaking fake Hawaiian. And he's like, "Oh, hey." And he's all hippied out. And let me pull up a picture because it is fucking insane.
So that's the best part of Honeymoon in Vegas.
Honeymoon in Vegas. He plays a chief. Here, look at some screenshots here.
It's pretty funny.
But he doesn't do anything. He says a couple things in Hawaiian. Look at him.
There he is. He looks like a lesbian.
And I had to tell her, I'm like, that was the guy who played Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein that we just watched.
Oh.
But look, Pat Morita. And they're sitting there and they're talking to Peter Boyle here as a Hawaiian chief. And can I show this image here?
Sure.
Look at this image. They are selling Sarah Jessica Parker as just a world-class sex symbol this entire movie, and I'm sitting there going, I was literally cowering away, going, oh, like it was, I don't know, fucking like Philip Seymour Hoffman's balls on screen. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, you can't look away from that.
But I'm like, There's a scene where here's how bad it was. There's a scene where Nic Cage gets arrested in Hawaii because he James Caan rolls him over and then he pretends like he's attacking him while they're on a golf course.
Right.
He's like, "Oh God, he's beating me up," and he gets arrested. And he gets picked
help me,
cell.
please help
And
me.
the second he gets in the cell, he goes in there and there's a big nude, big old fat dude on the bed, and he's face down, luckily, and it's this big hairy ass. And I'm sitting there, and this is my reaction during that scene. And that comes to Sarah Jessica Parker, and here's my reaction.
Oh,
Like ass. Sarah's like, oh, come on. And I was like,
oh no, not again. No.
Come on, movie.
Don't try to sell
I don't
me that
think she's
nose.
ugly, but for me personally, she's so skinny and just nothing and whiny and
And she was this close to being Mrs. Robert Downey Jr.
yeah. And if the 4 main characters in Sex and the City, she's number 3 for me. Only before Kim Cattrall.
Only before Cynthia Nixon.
No, Cynthia Nixon way before her.
Ah!
I'm going with Charlotte, Cynthia Nixon, then Sarah Jessica Parker, and then Kim Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall just a gross old hag, huh?
Kim Cattrall in 1985, whatever the fuck mannequin was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But not in, no, she's like a cunt in that movie.
I'm going to have sex with everything.
Cynthia Nixon. Hey, she's a lesbian in real life. She's going to hate it. I'm going to hate it. I'm fine with that. That's a draw for me.
But we'll get it done.
Charlotte, I'm going first.
Of course, yeah. She's the best. And she still looks good.
In Kill Bill, she looked good. That was 15 years ago, and she still looks good. Wasn't that her in Kill Bill? No. Either way, she looks exactly like that one girl that she chops off her arm and kicks her down the hill.
That is Julie Dreyfus.
Okay, looks just fucking like her.
Yeah.
I think Julie Dreyfus is in that movie?
Julie Dreyfus has way bigger boobs, though, than Kristen Thomas.
Whoever that fucking girl is, I don't care. But
whatever her name is.
Taking her first. I'll take Mr. Big first over all those women, though. So
I'll take Joe Don Baker. Thank you.
I feel like Joe Don Baker would appreciate it more. And I can make so many Mitchell jokes when he's inside me.
Oh, my Mitchell.
Oh, my Mitchell. You done back there?
You done, Martin Balls me? Martin Balls me?
I feel like he's got like a real, this big, like.
Oh, no, he's got a fucking monster. You know he does. Joe Don Baker? Oh, absolutely.
Joe Don Can Baker? You don't fuck with him. Or fuck him.
You don't. Because you're not coming back from that. It's not
they call him Butt Plug Baker for a reason.
They call me Butt Plug Baker. That's right.
He clogs that shit.
I was in 2 separate Bond franchises. He's in the James Bond.
Yeah.
He's in the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies, and he's in the Timothy. What's his name?
I thought he was in the before him, Roger Moore.
Not Roger Moore. The one after Roger Moore.
I thought he's in Roger Moore in the View from a Kill.
Oh, he might be. I can't remember. I don't remember. Let me see. Now you got me thinking about that. I don't think so, though. Okay. That's a fucking terrible movie, too.
View to a Kill is fucking awful, although it does introduce, what's his name? Hey, I'm Christopher Walken.
Yeah, and I guess some
hair guy for some reason.
Somebody was saying that was supposed to be David Bowie.
Yeah.
And the only Joe Don Baker hasn't been in a movie since Mud. Back to Nic Cage.
No.
In some weird,
It's not Nic Cage though.
Well, I know, but it's the other Nic Cage movie.
Yeah.
Wow, he really hasn't done a lot in a long time. I didn't realize that.
He's older than you think he is.
He's only got 84 credits.
What year was he born? 36?
I didn't look. Hold on.
He's old.
1936.
Wow. Why the fuck do I know that?
I don't know.
God damn. I'm so... Yeah. I hate my life.
Timothy Dalton, yeah. He's in GoldenEye. He's in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Hold on. Ask me my child's name.
Joe Don Baker.
Child's name.
What's your child's name?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of variables there, Dick. You got like Joe Don Baker was born in 1936.
Wow.
Why the fuck do I know that?
Oh, you don't remember your kid's name? Living Daylights was the other one.
Oh, he wasn't Timothy Dalton or Timothy Hunt.
Yeah, he was in the.
No, Dalton. I got it right. Timothy Hunt's the other guy.
And he's in Fletch.
He is.
Which is why he's in Honeymoon in Vegas.
He's in the first Fletch.
Yeah, he's the cop. He's the
funny
bad.
is I assume I associate his acting. He's also in a Cape Fear. He does a good job.
Yeah,
but,
he's really good at Cape Fear.
Yeah, he is. But I assume he would be in Fletch too. You know, Fletch Lives.
Well, he died
because it's a terrible fucking movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really good in Cape Fear. Actually, he's only got a couple scenes, but yeah, I was watching him like. I watched that recently too, and I'm like, I love this movie, but it is not good.
Honestly, I like it. I think Cape Fear is a good movie.
Here's the problem: it is so fucking schmaltzy for what it is.
Really,
it does not feel like a Scorsese movie. The filming, the way he shot that last 25-30 minutes there when they're on the boat, is so bad.
Take off your clothes.
I'm watching it. I'm like, I love this movie, but like watching it for the first time in 15 years, probably, I'm like, oh, this is bad. He's like, he's sinking down, you know.
He's speaking in tongues and he's
going
down.
Like the Simpsons episode about this is better.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I remember when the family trip we went to the Big Red Boat, which was the Disneyland Caribbean cruise. So we went to Bahamas, went to Disney World. It was back in 1993. The movies that were playing on the boat, because they had a movie theater on the boat, like an actual theater. Cape Fear, Addams Family, and I think King Ralph was the other one.
So the first two movies are 3 and 1 year old. Addams Family was brand new that year.
Well, that's what I mean. All of them were. Even King Ralph, I think, came out that year.
King Ralph was 92, I think.
There was like 92. It was, because isn't Cape Fear 92 or 91?
No, Cape Fear is 90.
No, Cape Fear is at 90.
Cape Fear is 90, I guarantee it.
Hold on,
I 100%. First one's 62, the remake is 90.
Cape Fear is 1991.
Cape Fear?
Yeah, 1991, yep.
Oh, Casino. No, Goodfellas is 90.
Goodfellas is 90, yeah.
So when
Cape
I say
Fear is 91, let's see what was the release date for Cape Fear? November 15th, 1991. Yes.
Okay, so still 2 years
wow.
old.
Made a lot of money.
Good.
It was a big hit for Scorsese, honestly.
No, I gave it an 8. It's an 8 movie.
Yeah.
But the last 25 minutes, I think, is just like experimental weirdness. It's so weird the way it's shot. I'm like, this does not feel like Scorsese, who's in complete control of the rest of his movies.
Well, I think it's more or less he's doing his homage to that style of film.
Yeah, but watch it again, just the last little bit, and I'm like, oh no, like it falls apart a little bit for me toward the end.
Well, I love the first like 10 minutes of the movie because when he's in the theater going, ha ha ha,
yeah,
smoking a cigar.
There was some great stuff. I love that movie. I really do.
Yeah.
Like the original movie is solid, but the remake is great. And I gave it an 8.
Lost. Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
It's got a 7.3 at IMDb with 183 viewers. Good score, but I like it more than they do apparently. But
well, the score is the same score from the original Cape Fear.
Yeah,
it's just copied directly.
And that's why the movie Shutter Island. I'm sitting there and listening to the music, and I'm like, this is Cape Fear, and it's working because it's Scorsese again, and he's just doing the same thing. And fucking kudos to him. I love Cape Fear. Or Shutter Island.
Right.
I even got a poster right out in the hallway.
Oh my god, of Shutter Fear.
Shutter
Fear.
Shutter Island, I like more than Cape Fear. I love that movie. I love Shutter Island.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, Elias Koteas, you got Max von Sydow, you got
John Carroll Lynch.
There you go.
Right.
What more do I need to say?
Mark Ruffalo.
Michelle Williams, DiCaprio is also there, I hear.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah,
No, you got Ben Kingsley. It's a
that's
fucking
right.
great cast.
Max von Sydow.
Oh, I said him already, but what's
Joe.
what's his fucking name? Why can't I think of it?
Patricia Clarkson.
Who's the guy that plays the Firebug?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley. Thank you.
Yeah, he's good too.
It's got a great cast. It really does.
It does.
Yeah, and love that movie. And I feel like I should be ashamed saying that, but it's in my top 30 movies.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
That's not a bad movie. I mean, it's a fine popcorn movie for Scorsese. That was another big hit. That was a big hit for Scorsese.
I saw it in the theater like 3 times.
I saw it in the theater once. Yeah.
I think it might have been the last, other than Wolf of Wall Street, the last Scorsese movie I saw in the theater.
What was the last Scorsese movie? Period.
The Irishman.
Yeah, but that didn't come to theaters. That was like direct to Netflix. Well, it went in theaters, but Netflix.
Yeah. But
so I like Silence was good.
I didn't watch that yet.
It's just long. It's long.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I watched the Irishman.
It's a long movie. Silence is long.
Yeah, and the plot of it, I'm like, the plot of the Irishman, I'm like, I know I'll like this, so I watched it.
Well, Science is
Irishman, I'm like, Catholic priests and
Science is about faith and about
in 1600s.
Yeah,
it's maybe I'll watch that eventually.
You talk about depressing movie. That's a fucking depressing movie too.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's get back to our actual movies on hand.
Leaving Vegas honeymoon.
Because I don't think this is going to come as a surprise. Our votes for what was our favorite movie of the night, our versus.
Well, sure, Living Las Vegas is way better than anything.
So it's not even close for me.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, I originally gave Honeymoon in Vegas a 5, then I upgraded to a 6 the second time I watched it. Leaving Las Vegas, I gave an 8 both times. Solid movie. I don't want to go higher because of how simple it is. Like, I think if there was a couple steps beyond what it was, maybe I give it higher scores, you know? Like a 9 for me is like American Psycho.
Right.
That's a 9.
Right.
Shawshank is a 10. So there's my difference.
Yeah.
But American Psycho has a lot going on. This is a good movie. It is hard to watch. I won't disagree completely with Jansen. He voted for Honeymoon in Vegas. I don't know why. And he said
we could have watched Firebirds.
He said, quote, fuck you. He said, quote, "It's a hill I will die on."
Yeah. Yeah, you can drink yourself to death on that hill.
I'll die on this hill, he wrote. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it in the messaging, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Well, should I pull up the messaging and read what he wrote? Because Jansen is the most negative person. Let's see here. This is back last week, so let's find out. Okay, I have to go back before last week. Okay, here we go. You sent some pictures, so
Back to the Future. I'm just so upset.
Where the fuck is this?
I'm so upset that my Batman Return set is -2 cards off.
Right?
In the 60s, too. Like
how many are there?
There's 88 cards, and the most cards out of all, like 70s had multiple copies. In the 60s, barely any. And the first like 10, I found maybe 2 doubles of that. It's like they only printed up 70s.
Weird. Okay. Jansen said, "I'm having a hard time getting through Leaving Las Vegas." And you wrote, "Making you thirsty." You said, "Making me suicidal." And you wrote, "Oh, Nic Cage is just too good." And this is because I had to cancel last week because I got the fucking plague.
Right.
I said, "Well, save your sadness for next week." And he said, Jansen said, "Here's my weekly. Welp, never getting back that hour and a half."
Right.
Said, but it's art. And he said, "But art doesn't deserve to be seen."
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, he is. Depending on the art.
You're right.
If it's like a like Tree of Life, I will never watch that fucking movie. I will never ever see it. I hate that movie, and I've never seen it.
I think somebody said they were on the set with Terrence Malick and Sean Penn, and Sean Penn tried to ask what the movie was about, and Malick just didn't tell him anything. And then Sean Penn was just like, he's so full of shit. Like, he was pissed that he was in the movie because he was like, why am I even doing this? This doesn't make any sense. This whole movie's bullshit.
And then he smoked 5 cartons of cigarettes and forgot about it.
And then he went to and he saved the people of Tahiti.
If you listen to Mark Maron's podcast, WTF, he said, he goes, people do smoke during my podcast. However, Sean Penn's the only guest that's ever smoked a pack of cigarettes during my hour.
That's insane.
He smoked a pack of cigarettes during an hour interview. And he goes, when I opened the garage door, he was smoking. Like,
I'm amazed he's still alive.
like, dude, he's 60. How is he smoking that much?
Yeah,
He's got to be close to 60, if not 60.
I would say, yeah, he's closer to 60. Yeah.
That's I guess when he interviewed him, he's probably 55 and smoking a pack an hour. That's how?
Yeah, maybe some people can do that. It's just he'll die of something else. He won't die of lung cancer, but he'll die of something else.
He's just one of those people that can just get away with that.
Yeah.
You remember the stories that came out that said he tied Madonna to a chair for like 2 days?
I believe it.
What happened
on Shanghai Express, or that awful movie that they did together? He was beaten. Hey, if you were in a movie called Shanghai Surprise with Madonna, I'd probably tie her to a chair and beat her too.
This is real life, not a movie.
Oh, they don't have. They're not in real life. They're movie stars. They don't have reality.
Sure. All right. About that one time, Sean Penn tied Madonna to a chair and tormented her for hours.
Oops.
As part of Sean Penn's ongoing defamation suit against Lee Daniels, Madonna has categorically denied that Penn ever struck with a baseball bat, as per a 1987 tabloid report, or that there was ever an incident in 1989 where it resulted in Sean Penn's arrest for domestic assault and battery. Okay, she's saying it was incorrect. Okay, good to know. I'm not a tabloid person. I'm not a People magazine bullshit. That's what I heard, so I assumed it was right. But Criminal Law looks interesting.
The movie?
His name, yeah, that movie you brought up. His name, Kevin Bacon's name in that movie, is so close to Martin Thief. It's Martin Thiel.
Yeah, it's not a very good movie.
Instead of an F.
I didn't finish it. I watched like the first
5.7
half of it, and I was just like, I'm kind of bored. But I just thought it was odd that they were in a movie together so long ago, Kevin Bacon and Gary Oldman, and then they started together in Murder in the First years later.
Murder in the First is like okay. It's a Christian Slater movie more than anything.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
Speaking of Murder in the First,
well, this was 6 years before that, if I'm not mistaken. That's 94, I believe. This is 88, and it's 2 actors in my top 20. Kevin Bacon, Gary Oldman.
Oh, yeah.
So I still don't want to watch it. It looks fucking awful. Look at Kevin Bacon in this. Oh, look at Gary Oldman. Oh, no. They both look awful.
It is 80s. It is. They have mullets. Yeah, it's not a good movie.
Ugh.
Because he gets them off for murder, and it ends up being that he is a murderer.
So
it's basically it's Lincoln Lawyer. It's basically
why does Gary Oldman look like Timothy Hutton here?
I know, he still his career.
It's crazy. Okay, here's color.
Yeah. Look at that.
He looks like the lunatic. There's a couple movies that remind me of each other. This apparently Primal Fear, which is Richard Gere and Edward Norton.
Yeah.
And then you got the Christopher Reeve movie where he plays a paraplegic who's pretending to be a paraplegic before he became a real life paraplegic. And Joe Mantegna stabs him in the leg with a pen after the trial, and he's like, cold cocks him.
Yeah.
Pretends. What was that called? Guilty.
Oh, I cannot remember it.
Guilty by suspicion. Like some.
Was
bullshit.
it a TV movie?
It was like some fucking bullshit.
Made for cable, like an HBO movie or something like that?
Let me look up Christopher Reeves. That's probably the quickest way to get there.
Probably.
Christopher Reeves. It was. Can you bring up something about one of these movies so we can?
Well, Honeymoon Vegas
Yeah.
essentially ends with Elizabeth Shue screwing Nicolas Cage to death because he's about ready to go, and there's that one scene though when he's trying to throw up and he can't because there's nothing in the system, so he mixes the vodka with milk. He drinks it. Oh, it's so gross.
Above Suspicion.
Above Suspicion.
It's right after Village of the Damned.
Oh my god.
But here's this movie, and here's where I bring up irony. And part of it is I don't like Christopher Reeve as a person, even though apparently I'm wrong.
Christopher Reeve?
This is how I felt at the time.
Oh.
I thought he looked like a snarky fucking asshole his entire career. He does this movie with Joe Montana, which is like a TV movie, but it went to theaters. But a paralyzed cop takes advantage of the sympathy he attracts in order to get rid of his cheating wife and her lover.
Hey, all right.
In the movie, he kills his wife. He's not really paralyzed. Pretends to be paralyzed. Joe Montana is looking at photographs, and he's like, "That wasn't there in the previous photo." I remember the scene vividly. That wasn't there in the photo that was there that we took. So he must have gotten up and moved it. It was way too high for him to reach. And he getting suspicious of him. And then in the trial, he gets not guilty. And Joe Montana walks up with a fucking pen, and he goes, "Ha!" right into his thigh.
Right, yeah.
And Christopher Reeve just stares at him. And he's feeling that in real life, like in the movie, because he's not really paralyzed. But
well, sure, yeah.
He stares at him, and then Joe Montana realizes, "Holy shit! I just gambled and lost horribly." Because I lost $65,000. Now I got to give up my terrible wife of Sarah Jessica Parker for the weekend.
Oh, that's the other movie. I get it.
Oh, I'm tying it together. Isn't that weird?
It happens. It's like that Stephen Wright joke. When he goes into this video.
I put spot remover on my dog. Now he's gone.
I walked in. I'll Shaq. I'll do the Stephen Wright impersonation.
All right, sorry, go.
No, Steve Wright goes. He goes to a video store. He goes, "You ever go to a video store and you ask him about a certain movie?" And for me, it was I'm looking for this movie. It stars Nicolas Cage. He's in a submarine, and Meryl Streep's the president. What's the name of that movie? And the video clerk says, you dreamt that. He goes, and I go, "How do you know?" "Because you came in last week asking for the same movie." "Oh, that's right. It was a dream I had." "And you said it was a dream you had."
Oh, yeah, there you go. You got to say a little more.
Yeah, I can't remember the subtext. It's late. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I gotta go drink myself to death.
I love Stephen Wright.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He's up there. He's top 5 for me, I would say.
Yeah, but if I saw him, I'd be like, no.
No, he's got good memes though. He's got a Facebook group called Stephen Wright fan page or whatever, and they always post funny shit on there.
Who's that actor that looks just like him? Only like a emaciated version. He's in a Last Action Hero.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, Noon.
And Tommy Noon, Thomas Noon, Tommy Noon,
Thomas Noonan, Tom Noonan. Yeah.
Okay, we got it. Tom Noonan.
He's in RoboCop 2. Yeah.
We really Frankenstein that together. We got him though.
Yeah, that's him, and he was Frankenstein in Monster Mash in the Monster Squad. Yeah.
He looks a lot like Stephen Wright, only Stephen Wright for millennials. He's in. You best know him from Reservoir Dogs. He plays the radio DJ.
If you've seen, because even millennials, I think, are a little late to the party on Reservoir Dogs.
I think millennials know Reservoir Dogs.
I don't know.
Only because it's on AMC all the fucking time, or shows like channels like that. Reservoir Dogs is on a lot.
Oh, no, it's on a lot.
Yeah, so they have no excuse for not seeing that. Stephen Wright was the first version of Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Who was also too old for you. But his favorite joke of mine is, he's like, I bought Ritz crackers and it gives me recipes on the back of what to add to it. I did not buy Ritz crackers to be little edible plates. I bought them because they're crackers and they're delicious. Stupid stuff like that.
Was that Hedberg or was that
Hedberg?
That sounds like Hedberg to me.
Yeah.
I used to do drugs and I still do.
No, he goes, I used to do drugs. I still do. I just used to do them as well.
I still do.
Yeah.
What was that one where he goes, I
And
have
then
a
he got an
girlfriend?
OD, and it wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Who would have thought he was a horrible, horrible heroin addict?
Him and Philip Seymour Hoffman, just like, wait,
Yeah.
really? They do heroin? I had no idea.
So, yeah, that was so sad.
I wasn't up to snuff on pardon the pun, but up to snuff on Philip Seymour Hoffman. I had no fucking idea he did heroin.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Like,
Until
holy
after
shit.
he died of it, he was like, oh shit. I guess he was. I saw this thing. He was dealing with it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like he was
I had
heroin
no
for
idea.
20 years. Yeah. And it's so sad too because like he got married, he had kids, he was a good dad, good husband, and he just was addicted to heroin, and that's what
It's like.
Oh,
It's like him
Oh.
and Kurt Cobain. They did heroin. They got clean for a while, like a good while, few years, and then suddenly it was like, I'm gonna do it again. Can't handle it. Die. Kurt Cobain killed himself, but just like heroin, and then just oh my god, sadness. Like
We know
don't
what
do
happened.
heroin. What the fuck's wrong? Why would you stick a needle in you? Holy shit.
no, thank you.
So I guess if I could, we'll end on this. We're on an hour and a half. We're good. Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas clearly wins by 2 stars.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
8 and a 6. I broke
Yeah.
the DVD, but it's the DVD, not the movie.
Buy the
This
Blu-ray.
DVD's fucked. I'm buying the Blu-ray right now.
That's right.
After we stop recording, I'm buying the Blu-ray. Or Nic Cage will send me it in the mail. One of the two.
I can hand deliver it to you. I'm a co-owner of my movie library. What do you want to watch?
I mean, literally every aspect of filmmaking beats it. Music, I might give it to Honeymoon in Vegas, even though it's way too much Elvis.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But at least you get variety. Leaving Las Vegas is the same song for 2 hours spread out.
Yeah.
I will agree with you that it is a bit too fucking much with that one song. But it's not at the forefront. You know, you're not thinking of the music really. You're kind of going, holy shit, this is depressing. And
Well, yeah. And the music is like the contrast to it. It's kind of happy, upbeat music, but it's him coming to terms with, okay, I'm going to die here, so I better get used to it. And I'm liking what I'm seeing, man.
And it kind of does fit thematically because it locks you into this location.
Well, sure, yeah.
It starts playing, you're like, here he fucking is. And that song keeps playing, like, to do the passage of time. It plays that song.
Yeah, and a lot of Sting was all over the soundtrack, too.
Yeah, and it kind of just hangs out. The music isn't blaring. This DVD, I fucking hate it. It's mixed inappropriately. If you're going to buy the movie, buy it on Blu-ray. I don't have the Blu-ray yet, but I will say this DVD is broken.
Yeah, I don't care.
The sound mixing is not equal. There's scenes that I had it on. Okay, usually I watch things on level 15 on my TV. I crank it up to level 50 to hear regular scenes. 50 out of 15, like where I'm normally at. I go to 50. I hear the scenes, and then it cuts to Nic Cage going. I had to go to 75.
Wow.
And I'm like, I can't fucking hear anything. And then it goes to the music, and it's like, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh
yeah. And this is thing like I normally watch Blu-rays like this. I didn't touch the volume thing once.
Yeah.
So the TV is fine. The DVD's fucked for Leaving Las Vegas. Do not buy it. Buy the Blu-ray. I assume it's better. They have to have fixed it. But much better movie than Honeymoon in Vegas. Voted 2-1. Jansen is not here. Voted for the wrong one. And Dick's falling asleep, so let's get out of here.
There you go. I'm pulling a Frank. I'm reading.
You are pulling a Frank right now.
Oh,
it's only 9:30.
I know. It's starting to hit me bad. I woke up too early this morning. I tried to sleep, and I couldn't do it this morning.
I don't know. I'm weird. I could operate in no sleep.
Well, no, I woke up. I woke up like at 3 o'clock in the morning because I lost my phone. I was like, "What the fuck?" Couldn't find it, and I had to tear my whole bed apart to find it. It was like right there. It's like literally on the edge of the bottom of the bed. So I had to take all the mattress off and put it all back together. And I tried to go back to sleep, and I woke up at like 7 o'clock. I'm like, I'm up. Fuck it. I'm done.
Yeah. Fuck it. We'll go live.
We're going live. Fuck it.
I'm a man of repetition. I do the exact same thing every night and every morning. I do the exact same thing. Like I have to, otherwise I just like you. I just where the fuck it like
Yeah, I need at least one solid night's sleep.
yeah.
And
All right, well let's get out of here.
All right, I won't drink myself to death.
It's not even close in this versus.
No,
not even a little close.
No, like we said, this is an odd choice, but I like to think they're spiritual sequels.
Okay, well, can you? I know you're tired, but can you quickly describe how they're spiritual sequels?
Well, it's because he marries Sarah Jessica Parker. He has a 2-year awful relationship. He's a writer in Hollywood. He loses his job and he goes back to Vegas where it all started to kill himself so that he can kill the memory of Sarah Jessica Parker.
They do show a picture where he's burning all his own everything he owns. And this is why the movie works for me, because he's clearly leaving to kill himself. He's not leaving any chance he's coming back. He burns everything he has in LA. He sets everything else out in trash bags where it's like, people might want this, or it's going in the trash. Who fucking cares? I can't burn it. It'll kill me too quickly. I want to drink myself to death.
Yeah.
So here's everything. He sets a photo down the fire, and they slowly reveal that little fire thing in the pictures. Yeah. It's him, his wife, and the kid that they had together.
Yeah.
So he's got a kid. And here's the weird thing about this movie. Why I say it's not overly schmaltzy and sad. He doesn't ever talk about that kid.
No.
They don't show a scene with them. They're together. He doesn't have a memory where like, my kid doesn't care. And he's going to call him when he's drunk. He doesn't ever fucking mention him. He just goes, I fucked up and I'm here to kill myself. And that's as far as they go into his character. And I appreciate that. I really do. They don't go Hollywood schmaltz. It's a movie where he's going to kill himself. And when he does die, when she fucks him to death, you're not surprised. You're going, that's where this movie told me it was going. And here it is.
Lay down with me.
And it's a movie that if they did nowadays would be like, it would have all those things I mentioned and just be like, oh, fucking end.
Right.
Yeah. 95, perfect era, perfect movie. 95 is my favorite year for movies, and this is just another collection of that reason.
Yeah.
Seven, Clueless, all these movies.
Yeah.
Usual stuff.
Batman Forever.
Come on. Edward E. Nigma. Come on. Enigma. Come on, guys. All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
LAWstudios.com for me. You can check out Dick's books on Amazon.
You could.
He just recently bought back one of his books on in a thrift store.
Thrift store is amazing. And I wrote something really awful in it. So I felt like, oh my God, if someone takes this out of context, I don't think they're going to think highly of me.
Was it pro Hitler?
No, it was just, I think it was a joke. It was a joke about something because it says no gays here. And I was like, that.
Okay.
I think I know who I wrote that to. And I think I know what it was about. It was like a joke.
Let me share this before we go.
Oh, yes.
So
wow.
On the left, quality of movie, I have Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Number 7. I do enjoy Crude's and New Age more than this. I honestly did.
Wow.
No, watch the Crude's New Age.
Cruise. Yeah.
Honeymoon in Vegas is below Weatherman.
I think Crude's is below Weatherman on quality of Cage.
Quality of Cage, Leaving Las Vegas, number 2. I think that's fair.
Wow.
He's better in this than Pig. He is as good as he is in Pig.
Sure,
I think he's better in this.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And let me say, I know you want to go, but he is such a good version of an alcoholic in this. I watch him and I go, it's bad when I'm in an Irish family and I'm sitting here going, oh, he reminds me so much.
Right, yeah.
Of these members of my family who are dead now because they drank. My mom's sister literally drank herself to death. Where the thing with alcoholics, they stop eating. They do not eat because they can't.
Yeah.
There's a phase of alcoholism where you go from like functioning to I need alcohol to live. Therefore, food is getting in my way.
Yeah,
I stop eating. I can't stomach the food. And that's such a specific thing. And if you don't know it, if you never lived through it, you have no idea. And luckily, you're lucky if you do. But I watch him, I'm like, oh my, I've seen this before a dozen times, like in my family. And and he fucking knocks it out of the park. I really think he deserves an Oscar. And
he got it.
It's weird considering his choices after this, but he deserved it here and got it. And, God save the Cage. But
speaking of Sean Penn again, Sean Penn immediately said that, like, Nic Cage, after he won the Oscar, he's like, oh, he sold out. He did all these action movies. And I'm just like, I think he sold out before with all the romantic comedies he was doing. And then he got into action movies after the Oscar because I think he could. And it wasn't for the money. I think it was just more or less for, like, oh, we'll do action movies because that sounds like fun.
I have zero problems if you want to sell out for money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I also acknowledge
this show brought to you by Tampons. Great for your girlfriend. Great for you.
Great for cunts. But I also appreciate if you don't sell out, like, way more. But, like, I get why. If, like, we talked about Ryan Phillippe. I'm like, he purposely said, I'm an actor. I don't want to be an action star. I want to be an actor. I'm not a pretty guy. I want to be an actor. And I love him for that. And I will always cherish him for doing that.
Yeah.
But if he did some movies for money, I'd be like,
good for you.
Like, make your fucking living. Like,
well, sure, yeah.
You got family and you got kids. I think
in his divorce with Reese Witherspoon, he got quite a lot of money on that. So I think he's able to be like, I could do whatever I want. I don't have to do shit.
It is interesting that he got more money out of that deal than she did, probably.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
but also, I love him as an actor, and I will always, same as James Caan from this movie.
That's because the judge
Way of the Gun. Way of the Gun is in my top 10 movies. It really is.
The judge is a big MacGruber fan. He's like, I love Ryan Phillippe did in that movie. So granted, it's
way after this divorce, but yeah, it's a Honeymoon in Vegas on the quality of Cage does go a little higher because he's good in The Rock, but I think he's better in Honeymoon in Vegas. Just he has The Rock, he's a little stiff, and he's less action hero-y in this, and I give him the credit for that. He is good in Honeymoon in Vegas. I don't want to say he's not. He is. He's number 11 there.
Right.
But Leaving Las Vegas, I really struggle between this and Pig for Leaving Las Vegas. But I really do think he's better in this than Pig.
Yeah. Pig is more sedate, quiet Cage. This is the quirky Cage with the serious Cage and a quiet Cage, all in one movie.
I honestly would say this is a separate category and say it's Oscar Cage.
Oscar Cage.
Because look, it's adaptation and then this.
Well, yeah. Anytime he's nominated for Best Actor,
I would give Cage the Oscar for adaptation.
Sure, yeah.
I'm also this year for Pig. I would.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's going to beat him this year? He's so fucking good in Pig.
Some black guy is going to win because
those top 3 movies I would give him an Oscar for. And
they got to give the Best Actor to a Mexican this year or something.
But I do think he's better in adaptation than this. It does to me. You want to tie this together with these two movies? I want to tie Leaving Las Vegas together with adaptation.
Adaptation. After he writes the Blood Orchid, he goes and kills himself.
Yeah, it really does feel like a follow through to that, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
He writes, he quits, he gets fired, and he goes to Vegas and kills himself. He's a writer already.
Yeah, you could argue that.
And
you fucking drug addict.
But let's get out of here. I know you're
fatty.
Tired. Until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Dick.
Here's our government-mandated outro. Okay. Jansen is not here, even though he's in the outro. I want to make that very clear. He voted the wrong way. And he's willing to die on this hill.
He is going to the zombie meat pie game.
Creepshow.
In Creepshow.
On the other show. Okay, next week on this show, we are doing Valley Girl 83 versus 2020. It's going to be an awful week next time.
I don't know if I can do that.
You'll have to be here.
Is it on Amazon, Valley Girl 2020? Or is
they're on the fucking... They're on the thing.
It's on the thing.
It's on the thing.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck.
Citizens of Wonderland. Rejoice in the fact that we have covered another movie on the show. Go to liwstudios.com for more videos and podcasts. Subscribe to Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Search on Amazon for books by Richard Pierce. Until next time, and in the meantime, we are Phoenix West, Dick Dickett and Jansen Carlin. So long, citizens. All hail our glorious leader. Shut off the fucking show now.